Welcome back to the Fanspeak Network. Happy New Year to all. It's Friday. We're trying to get back on a schedule here, but hopefully everybody had a safe, wonderful, happy New Year. We're ready to start 2026 off right. We're doing everything Degen possible today. We're covering best ball recap from the best ball finals. We're going to do prop party. Of course, you got your prop party crew here. DFS week 18, Underdog Dailies week 18, and then, of course, a little playoff best ball mixed in. We're going to do all that in just 1 minute.
Fanspeak, where the plan runs deep. The team grind hard, don't eat, don't sleep. From best ball dreams to DFS streaks, they help you print money every single week. No cap, no gimmicks, we breaking limits. NFL bets, yeah, we live this business. Meg and Steve, that OG vision. Draft room killers on a lifelong mission. More stress to the Sunday spread. Fanspeak's that voice that's inside your head. Best ball, DFS, NFL bets. They built it brick by brick, no regrets. Fanspeak team, printing money since day one. Fanspeak, forever.
That's right. Again, happy New Year's to all. We've got Jamie in chat. We've got Mike in chat. We've got Lisa. Happy New Year's to all. Mike says, let's see if the shops break my heart, talking about Sunday night game. Of course, you're going against Tyler's team there, Sunday night game. So we will see what Tyler thinks of that. But yes, happy New Year to all. Let's start New Year 2026 off right. I was telling Steve, I've been so distracted with like best ball playoffs. Now I'm ready to just sink my teeth in back to the DFS, the Underdog Dailies, the NFL bet streets, really focus and have a good last month of the season. So hopefully we can all do that together in the Fanspeak Degen community. If you're coming in, hit that like button. If you're watching over on Twitter, join us in the YouTube streets. Leave a comment, say hi. Leave your favorite bet for week 18, whatever we appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed for some reason, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We will continue all of our NFL and season content all the way through the Super Bowl and then shift right into, of course, best ball season. We'll then be there with the big board. First, guys, of course, happy New Year to both my guys. I'll go to both of you. We'll then kind of recap, put a bow on the 2025 best ball season before we turn the page to the 2026 best ball season. Tyler, I know you had a Poodle finals. Tell us about that and how you felt about your best ball season in general.
Yeah, I thought my best ball season was a success. I mean, I don't know the exact numbers on the win-loss, but getting that team to the finals and drafting for the teams to be that final 3 weeks. I think they showed something about the guy that won the $2 million. Mm-hmm. They said his team was the lowest scoring team how many weeks, and then he put up his highest score the final 3 weeks. He just raised it each week. So yeah, you draft for the final 3 weeks. I know it sounds kind of stupid because you have to win the rest of the season, but drafting for that final 3 weeks, you need to be ready for those 3 weeks. My Poodle team, for instance, got there, and I looked at the wide receiver room, and it wasn't all that fun outside of Puka. Mm-hmm. We finished 180th, so you still win $400, but never really had a shot at the full win. So it was fun, little learning experience, but I'll take the money and we'll shoot it for next year.
Absolutely. And yeah, big shout out to Sam Sherman, of course, taking down the 2 million on the Best Ball Mania. Massive shout out to him. Another Sam won the DK Millie live and was like sweating it live from the Falcons game. What a just legend he is. I mean, that's amazing. Just happened to be at the Atlanta game as Bijan goes nuclear and helps win him 2 million. So congratulations to both Sams, but Sam Sherman, he was one of the first ones that analysts that made me really appreciate Underdog scoring and running backs hitting the flex and the Underdog. I know he didn't maybe have Underdog or running back hitting the flex, but it is very fitting that big dog Derrick Henry brought him home the 2 mil, right, Steve?
Yeah, no, he was a couple years ago. He pushed back on the zero RB bros and all that kind of stuff. I mean, he still does it, as he will say, like you do it, but it just shouldn't be your 80% market. And I think he had a really strong team, and like Tyler said, like his team sneaked into the playoffs. It wasn't even his best like quarterfinals team, but it was the pod that worked and all that. But it just kept getting better and better, and a lot because some guys got healthier down the stretch, like Purdy. And Purdy was the absolute quarterback you needed in the playoffs. He absolutely dominated every other quarterback, from the 3 week span.
Oh yeah, he was definitely like the sprint quarterback for sure. Purdy absolutely dominated, but
I
no,
think
big
the
shout
only
out to Sam.
quarterback that outscored him in that 3-week stretch was Lawrence.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah,
not sure how
Yeah.
many Lawrence's teams got through because he didn't put up that good of a season.
yeah. Lawrence and Purdy were the
Yeah,
quarterbacks.
those were the two guys.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And like you said, one was injured a good chunk of season. One definitely had, with just a mixed season, but just ended so strong. Lawrence, that is. I'm sure we'll talk about him today, obviously, with everything to play for here in week 18. No, but big shout out to Sam Sherman. Always loved his content, always loves his like shtick, and he's got a great sense of humor and good Twitter follow if you're not following him for some reason. And he had done a couple live drafts with Steve and I the last couple of years. So always appreciate him, and big congrats to him on the 2 mil for sure. For me, not a good end of the season. Middle of the season, I was feeling great about best ball 2025. My sweet Prince Scattaboo goes down, all went downhill from there. But no, seriously, advance rate was still good, like 20%, but not what I wanted. And then I just got demolished. Like basically everybody I did not have high exposure to went nuclear in the playoffs with, Puka and Olave and Pitts, and, just wasn't my playoff run. And we're going to talk about a lot of the things we're going to do differently or better, or, what we did right, what we do wrong. We will be covering that all in January before the 2026 contest. So not a good end of my season. Obviously, I was sweating that marathon for like a month in first and was still high for a good chunk of the season, but just sustained too many injuries, did not. And then, guys faded at the end of the season, like JT or Rome, or, injuries like Rome and DK Metcalf at the last game, just sustained too many injuries, too many holes the last season. And I said that all along. I said, I absolutely love the marathon contest. I think is the purest form of best ball in that, like, you are rewarded for great player takes. And I think we had those, Steve and I did rankings all season for marathon, for sprint, for all the contests. I think we had, more hits than misses. And that's what's important. We're all going to have misses, but I think we had more hits than misses. I think it rewards good player takes, but unfortunately, where you need the luck in the marathon is not the pod luck. You need health. And, that was a fun team mid-season, but just did not get the health luck run out. But I'm going to go right back to the well. I hope Underdog offers it. Already trying to get a bug in Brett's ear. But I still love the marathon sprint contest. But yeah, not the finish I wanted. Steve, I know you had multiple final sweats because I was, obviously sweating with you. But tell us about your Superflex finals, which was the most exciting. Damn, came close to hitting a really fun final. So tell us about that.
Yeah, so my finals, my marathon teams died out a bit, as did my drafters teams. Sprint, I had one, that I was hoping, but just didn't have a good week 17 run out. So it really came down to my 2 like actual finals teams. And after, Saturday games, Derrick Henry it was in Superflex, German Shepherd Superflex, and then Pomeranian 2. And Derrick Henry was like just in 7 of the Superflex teams. So that was, or 12. I can't remember the exact number.
He wasn't in many of the Superflex
teams.
teams.
Yeah, it was much lower and much better percentage. So that quickly became the one. And I just had more live players in that.
Yeah.
So, it turned out I ended up finishing 15th. In the German Shepherd Superflex. Unfortunately, needed a little bit more. Could have used more Bijan, because surprisingly, there were some teams ahead of me that still didn't have Bijan. And but I had both, Stafford and Cousins, and my Superflex was going to count because Lawrence was my other quarterback, and they both kept battling back and forth to take over that Superflex spot, and they just didn't do enough at the end. Like, could have used another touchdown, something like that. Particularly, I had both Mooney and Atwell, so if either one of them had hit, then they would have counted above my flex position as well. So had a chance for like a top 10, maybe even top 5 if it went real well. Yeah. Didn't get that high, but Bijan got me there to 15th, so that was fun.
Yeah, no, it was fun that Bijan got you to 15th, but there was a point in the game where I was like, okay, now Rams are starting to push back, that I really thought you had, like you said, top 5, or excuse me, especially top 10 sweat. But again, you and my men, I know you, who aims PPR Tyler, all do a ton of Superflex. I'm going to lean into Superflex more too next year. I love that format. And I think you crushed it this year. I think you had good reads on a lot of stuff, like, drafting backup quarterbacks at the end. You and I drafted a ton of Mariota. Well, that was smart because he hit the lineup a hell of a lot more than other last round plays in Superflex would. So we will lean into all that and more. Again, we will have in January, we'll put out January schedule, but in January, we will do a lot of like best ball recap type shows, player takes, strategies, what was right, what was wrong, what we want to lean into more next year. We're going to do multiple best ball shows in January to prime us all and prep us for the 2026 best ball season, which will be here before you know it. Last year, they dropped the big board during the NFC AFC championship game. So I don't know if it's going to be earlier, later, but think late January and we'll be ready for it. And we will cover best ball playoffs, or excuse me, playoff best ball at the end of this show. But we will have some playoff best ball content next week as well, both on Substack and here on YouTube. So today's show, we're going to do prop party with the three of us. And then we're going to talk DFS week 18. Then we're going to talk Underdog Dailies week 18, which is hard because this is the news and information slate. You have to be on top of the news and a lot of moving parts here. And then some playoff best ball drafts Steve and I are going to do. Let me get to the chat and then we will get to the props. Jamie's daughter loves the Fanspeak song. He makes all these songs and his daughter loves the Fanspeak I wasn't able to get the New Year's song up. I apologize, Jamie. It's been crazy behind the scenes here, but it was awesome. And I apologize we didn't get it up, but we love all the songs you've made for us and appreciate it. Happy New Year's from Kicks. Definitely says playing more marathon and Superflex next year. I love those formats too, and I am right there with you. DJ Quill, happy new year to you. Best Ball Q, great to see you. Wow, leaving Pete's stream for this. I mean, Pete is the GOAT. He put out all his stuff he did in 2025. He's like the Ryan Seacrest of fantasy football content. So shout out to Pete and thanks for coming over here. Mike Robb has half worked out an idea for the team in the early offseason, a Fanspeak roundtable where you all talk about pending free agents and the places you want to see them go. I'm sure that would be a good format. I don't know, Tyler, do you dive into the free agency stuff? I know you and Spread and Steve, of course, like to talk about.
I do, Meg, and I was already giving my breakdown on that show because I had a suggestion. And it worked out because we just need to smack the mute button on Spread for that show because all he's going to do is freak out the entire show and go, why are we giving these guys these places to go? This is just like a prediction show and all this other stuff. It's kind of the point of the show.
Right,
so
right.
You got to leave him out of that one.
Okay, so either leave Spread out or smack the mute. Spread, if you're watching, we love you. And I love the idea, Mike. Yeah, feel free. We have the Discord too. Of course, link in the description for a Substack. Only $34.99 for the entire year. And again, we covered, we'll have big board rankings. We'll have rankings for every contest, classic, super flex, if they do marathon sprint, and I hope and pray they do. DraftKings, we'll cover it all. So we will cover all the different rankings, content during best ball season. And as you know, you get content from us almost every single day for the NFL season. Steve just put out his Underdog rankings. We did a DFS survey. We'll have Saturday picks up later tonight. We'll have Sunday slate, DFS slate up on tomorrow, as well as bets and parlays. It's a mouthful. We'll get it all done, and we are going to finish the season strong. We are determined to finish the season strong. So with that, it's time to phase into the prop party part of this Degen Power Hours.
That button, Meg, and we go into props. I just had two questions for both of you. They're award based. Love it. One, the MVP. Do we think Drake May should be minus 300 just because the Rams lost one more game? That Stafford, I know he threw a pick six. He had 3 interceptions. But his stats still look better than May, and he's going to play this week. I know May's going to play, but I don't think May's going to play the whole game. Stafford might go out there and throw for 300 and multiple touchdowns. This could be a spot where you can get a plus almost 300 on Stafford, and you could blink and he could be minus 500 again.
So what is the seeding? Because it helped me out here.
They're going to be a wild card, but that was
no. But if Seattle wins, it's one. If Seattle wins, I think they really can't move around. If San Francisco wins, they can. Would it help me out, Steve? I know there's like a scenario where they're almost locked into like the 7th, and then if one wins, and I'm talking about, of course, the game Saturday night for the NFC West and the number 1 seed between the 49ers and Seahawks. Which is it? I'm trying to keep up with all these different scenarios.
I think it's if San Francisco wins, Seattle then becomes the top wildcard team, pushing them down.
If San Francisco wins or Seattle?
I'm pretty sure if San Francisco wins.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm reading an ETR article. Shout out Established to Run, who covers the news and information, one of the best in the industry, in my opinion. It says here about the Rams at 11-5, that they're going to play. We're going to play. We need to play better football, right? But if Seattle wins, LA has a shot at the 5 seed. So I thought it was opposite. If San Francisco wins, the Rams cannot advance their seeding and could rest. So I'd say if San Francisco, okay, so if San Francisco
wins, Rams are locked in.
The Rams are locked in. If Seattle wins, then the Rams have a shot at the 5 seed. So I would say to that point, Tyler, wait till after Saturday night. I don't know if there's going to be much movement like from Saturday night.
I see what you're saying, Meg, but I feel like that the number probably reacts off that game.
Oh, that's true.
Sure.
They put an article out on Christmas Eve where they go around and they ask all the GMs and these anonymous guys their votes on who's going to win the MVP. And that was the day Stafford went from like minus 200 to minus 600 because the next closest guy in votes to him was Drake May at 5. Do we think he stole enough votes to pass him up? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. That number could be completely wrong in the market. He could still be getting enough votes to win the MVP, but FanDuel is projecting he's not.
Yeah, I think what a lot of it comes down to is now, we talked about this before, like it is rare for a non-division winner to win MVP.
No, I agree.
And May is going to have that locked up in the number 2 seed in the conference, where the Rams still a great year, win or lose, and no matter what happens with the Seattle, whether they're the 5 or the 6 seed, but it's like they could be the 3rd best team in their division. And I think there's so many voters that's going to flip for them. I really think. And the fact that he went out there and threw 3 interceptions. Like if he'd gone out and they lost to the Falcons on, Kyron fumbled twice and something like that, that's a different story. But, but his numbers have come down to earth because at one time before that Carolina game, he was running so pure with turnover rate, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But now his turnovers, him and May are very similar in that. And then, yes, it was an easy game, but May just went out and dog walked the Jets and likely will do the same to the Dolphins. I think May probably plays longer than Stafford because historically Sean McVay rests guys as much as he can.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. He rests them as much as he can. But you got to think after the 2 weeks of football they've played, I think these guys might go out there and put up 40 on the Cardinals.
I think they'll win, but it's also kind of similar to last week with the Bengals Cardinals. I think as soon as they get ahead, like Burrow was out,
Yeah.
And I think it'll be the same thing with Stafford and Puka. Like they've already, have Devontae and Quorum dealing with injuries. Like I just don't think they want any major injuries because they're not getting they're not getting
they're not getting a bye.
They might not even get any home field. And so it's like this is their run. So I don't know. I think they're going to be very careful. It's like they go up like 21-3 and Stafford's done is what I would,
Well, if you had a vote, who's getting your vote for MVP? Is it May?
I think it's close. The one thing I will say is Stafford could get like that. He's about to retire.
That's what I think too. He has that narrative in there where they'll go, well, May will be back next year for this award. So let's just give it to Stafford. This is his last chance.
Yeah. Yeah. I think if the Monday night game went a little differently, even a loss, but him not throwing 3 interceptions, I still would favor Stafford. But now May just came off like literally a perfect week.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's why I lean. If I was voting, I'd say May, not just because I wish he was Washington's quarterback. But I love Drake May so much, but that's not why. I understand Stafford's like if you line up their stats, Stafford still has the better stats, but May's winning the division. They're going to have the number 2 seed most likely. And it's just, I do think he's been more valuable, truly more valuable.
Back on that, and I think that this will come into the voters' arguments too. Drake May is playing the easiest schedule in the league, and Stafford's playing one of the hardest.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I think another thing where they'll go, do we really weigh that division win in that 2 seed as high? When you look on the NFC side, and there's so many teams logjam at like 11 and 12 wins.
Yeah.
I just think that there's a chance like we get to that award show and Drake May rolls into the show at minus 300 and the votes come out at the end of the night and it's like, wow, he didn't stand a chance against Stafford in this award. This was Stafford's award the whole time.
Yeah, with the narrative and everything, that is tough to push back on. I won't have skin in the game, but I think it should be May. But it would not surprise me if it was Stafford.
And then one other award, I think this one comes down to Saturday night too. We got skin in the game on this one. I don't know if you bet it, Meg, but I gave it out to the guys in the chat at 40-1. I know some guys got 30-1 too. Yeah, he's down to plus 250 CMC.
Yeah,
and he's going up
I knew the
JSN.
chat was talking about it. Coolers, I know, had a couple of bets on it. So what did you get it at?
I have 40 and 30 to 1. I have 2 tickets.
Nice. Okay.
Is this just the game of whichever one of them has the better game
JSN versus CMC, basically?
Yeah,
I mean,
whoever
does
wins
it
the game.
unfortunately for them go to who wins too? Or does it
I think it might, they'll go all 1 seed. You got to think whoever wins, they probably have a solid game. Like if San Fran wins, CMC probably has close to 120 total yards, a touchdown or 2. And if Seattle wins, JSN probably has 100 yards and maybe a touchdown. So I think this game decides that award.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. That's
and
awesome.
I think the only way it doesn't is if Raheem Morris goes, you know what? I have nothing else to play for, and he needs 250 yards to break the scrimmage record.
I was going to say he could break the scrimmage record
on the ball.
Yeah,
that's the only way I see it, because even if those two have the seasons they had, if a dude breaks the scrimmage record for yards, I think he has to win it.
Well, and one other fun fact in the CMC conversation, and a feather in your cap, and I hope you win this with 2 tickets on it. But CMC, I mean, very just like the 255 yards or whatever, very outside shot to break that record. But CMC would be the first player to, if for 110 receiving yards. And by the way, Seattle is the team you want to target in receiving yards. I believe he got 80 or 90. Now, again, that was when they were more depleted at the beginning of the season. But Seattle, you target them, running backs, receptions, running back, receiving yards. If he were to somehow get 110 receiving yards, he would be the first player ever to get not 1, but 2 seasons of 1,000 and 1,000 rushing, 1,000 receiving. So if he somehow pulled that off, win or lose, I think that record would be pretty
that could pull him into the lead regardless.
Which, for your sake and Coolers and anybody else in chat who's got a CMC ticket, I hope that happens. So yeah. All right. We've got Mike, Rob in chat, the GOAT, giving us a great start to start the year off great. Fanspeak for the win. We thank you, Mike, Rob. We appreciate you. It's so nice with the super chat. We very, very grateful to you and everybody in chat, everybody watching. Again, hit that like button. Okay, guys, now it's time to get into it. First, we will talk props. All right, guys, props and a lot of for Sunday. Not a ton of props available because there's so many moving parts. Again, this slate I talked about on the CBS show this morning. This slate is drinking water out of a fire hose. There's so much motivations, and motivations can change, like we just talked about with the Rams. There's obviously the milestones, which we just talked about with Bijan and McCaffrey, and guys going for the rushing title like Jonathan Taylor, and guys going for the passing title like Dak Prescott. There's so much of that. And then, of course, the incentives and the money, if you hit this many more receptions, this many more yards, this many more touchdowns. It's wild out there. It is wild. And again, with the incentives, a lot of that's baked in, but not all of it. So let's talk about it. Actually, before I get into that, speaking of establish the run, we talked about
did they put out the full incentive list? I think they did.
Jamie or Stout. Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. He mentions Pat Thorman as a number 2 ranker. Established Run, amazing on their content and news. But just to summarize some of the main incentives, I'm just going to run through them and then we can get into props. So Rico Dowdle, 7 more yards, he gets an extra mil, no big deal. He gets a touchdown, he gets an extra 250. Nick Chubb, 94 more rushing yards. Hollywood Brown, 102 receiving yards, and a touchdown, 2 separate payouts. Keenan Allen, don't know that he's going to be able to rely on Trey Lance, but 6 more receptions, 750, 9 receiving yards, 250, 134 more yards would net another 250 on top of that. 2 touchdowns, another 250. Stephon Diggs, 8 receptions, and then 30 yards. And then if he were able to get like 130 yards, another 500,000. So he's got multiple tiers. I don't believe Saquon's playing. Darnold, 150 for 500 and 3 touchdowns for 500. Now this one's an interesting one because a lot of these are baked into their price. Not baked in. Darnold 3 passing touchdowns is plus 267 right now. He also has a good matchup and he also has to win. So, that's not a thing where they're going to just force Darnold to get his 500 or put him in a situation to get his 500. It's just a situation where he could get an extra 500,000 because they need to win. And, he can get that in a matchup against the 49ers. Deebo Samuel, 2 more touchdowns and 10 receptions. That's a pretty big ask. Tony Pollard, this one's interested. 66 rushing yards for 250, 2 rushing touchdowns, another 200. Hunter Henry, 5 receptions. And then there's some lower tier players that I don't think I would even talk about or consider. As far as statistical milestones, you talked about 255 scrimmage yards to set the all-time single season record for Bijan Robinson. Christian McCaffrey, 110 to become the first player in history to have 1,000 rushing, 1,000 receiving, and because it would be his second time doing that. Ted McMillan, 80 receiving yards to set the Panthers rookie record. Trey McBride, 32 receiving yards for the record for the tight end receiving yards. You're not going to get any action on that because, and then Cam Ward, 222 passing yards for the franchise record for rookie QB. Warren Moon holds it. That's crazy. Again, this is all coming from Established to Run. Want to shout out where we're getting this from. Caleb Williams, 109 yards for a single season franchise record with the Bears, but would become the first Bears 4,000-yard passer with 270 yards, which has been a big narrative with the Bears, of course. Genty, 112 yards for 1,000. James Cook currently leading the rushing title, but Jonathan Taylor is trying to win it, and James Cook could get sat, so that's something to consider. Alec Pierce, 129 for 1,000. Dak trying to win the passing title. Matthew Stafford is right behind him. That's all going to be dependent if he plays. So those are the biggies. Thoughts on those before we then actually jump into props? I do think that's important to mention. Not that we're going to treat these as gospel and bet everyone, but I do think there's certain ones where you can still get, some kind of good odds for what they could potentially get. Steve, what are your thoughts on these first? And then I'll go to Tyler.
Yeah, no, I think they're all important. Like the one, for instance, like the Keenan Allen one, that's something that sometimes in those situations where the team's basically resting everyone, they could go to the player and just work out an arrangement. You see that happen sometime, but a lot of these, that's not going to happen, right? Like this is in their contract. They're going to go for it or not get it. And so you highlighted like the Sam Darnold one. I think that's key. I think, for instance, like the Caleb franchise 4,000 yards, that has been such a big narrative, and that they have something to play for, so they could let it air out a little bit. I saw even Odunze could play this week, so that is one that I think is interesting to target his passing up a little bit. But no, like you said, like it's something to keep an eye on. I wouldn't, like some of them are probably just going to end up being out of reach regardless, but many of those are very attainable for good games for these players, not like necessarily great or elite games.
Yeah. How about you, Tyler? Do any of those either statistical milestones or incentives stand out to you?
No, I mean, none of them like really stand out, but that is a point that I use in this week. That's a big point that I use betting this final week, because how else are you going to bet this final week when these guys are going to be sitting and certain guys are going to be playing for something? Now, the Keenan Allen one, there was a quote from an interview last night where they asked Keenan about it.
I thought I saw that. Yeah.
He heard of Trey Lance and he said, "Trey, you hear that? I need the ball 10 times. He's like, maybe we'll go out to dinner after this." And Lance turned to him and said, "Well, I need a new car." And Keenan Allen said, "Well, I think I'll leave that money on the field then," basically. So I might leave him alone. But a couple you didn't touch on that I think we should keep an eye on. Cam Ward is 222 yards from the
Yes, I did skip over that. You're
what
right.
else do they have to play for?
Yeah.
His prop sitting at 191. You're basically getting 2-1 on 225.
Yeah.
They probably let him chuck the ball to try and break that record.
And they're probably going to be behind also.
Shakir to score a touchdown is some kind of incentive. I don't know the exact money amount he gets. For him to score a touchdown is an incentive. And you touched on the Debo ones, right?
No, I think I did touch on them. They're high, but they're there. Yeah.
I think the one you instantly snap bet, because Philly's going to sit their guys. Him to score 2 touchdowns is 35-1. You're telling me when they get in the red zone, they're not just going to force feed him?
Yeah, no, 2 touchdowns for Debo, another 250. If he got 93 receiving yards, another 450. So yeah, it's definitely there. Good point. So yeah, I think some of these.
Also, one other one. Tet is 71 yards from 1,000.
Yeah,
and a great matchup with a prop of 58.
Yeah. I mean, hell, you could do a whole like incentives and whatever. Maybe that's what we do for a lotto. You could do I already bet like Sam Darnold 3 touchdowns and McCaffrey crazy receiving yards. So yeah, you could add in, some of the other ones even just on Saturday.
What you do, Meg? You do the incentive parlay now. Well, you probably had to do it a couple days ago because they've just been getting bet up. You can still do it now. And then Sunday morning, reverse everything. Do the parlay on the unders because all those numbers are going to be inflated. You might be able to somehow finagle your way and hit both tickets because you'll probably have 6 to 7 yards of CLV on all of them.
Right. Yeah. No, and you think back, and I know some people crush the whole incentive things week 18, oh, it's already baked in. For some of it's baked in, but for some you're still getting 2 to 1, 3 to 1, that kind of stuff. And are all of them going to hit? No, but some are. And it's worth it's worth taking some fun flyers. So maybe at the end we can build a fun Saturday.
I think it was last year, Mike Evans.
Yeah, that was awesome.
He needed 60 some yards to get 1,000. It's probably in the 50s. It ballooned up past the number he needed by 5 yards. Yeah. And then he got 1 yard over what he needed for 1,000.
Yeah. Remember Baker? I mean, they were playing to punch their, just like they are this Saturday. They were playing to punch their ticket to the playoffs, and he gets it. They literally force feed him at the end. Take that chance, put it in the air to get him the thing. They all go nuts.
Get him 663 yards on Saturday.
Yeah. And Mike Drop was in the CBS chat, and he was like, just needs 650. No big deal. We can do it. Mike Rob, speaking of, says that Ward Io Manor stack is finally going to hit. LOL. Too funny. All right, now let's get to props. Steve, you go first, Tyler, and we'll go around the horn here.
I'm just going to go right to that first game. Give me Tet over 58.5. I just think big game. You're going to go to your main players, him and Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard. That you've been able to throw on this Tampa Bay defense the last couple weeks. Everyone has. So I think Bryce will be able to put together a good game. He'll get the ball to Ted at 58.5. I'd probably hold it up to that 70 to get him over that 1,000, but the 58.5, give me the over there.
I like that a lot. Steve, what's your first one?
So I will start with the Sunday slate. I'm going to go because I think with no Chris Olave, no basically anyone else on the Saints, I think Juwan Johnson just gets peppered with targets. I think you can approach it yards. You can go 60 plus for just a slight minus, or receptions. I think either one is completely fine. It's now 6+ that he needs, but I mean, he averaged 4.6 receptions per game all year. And that was with, Shaheed and obviously Chris Olave. And that was with a lot of Spencer Rattler, who was nowhere near as good as Tyler Shuck. So I like Juwan Johnson. I probably will edge it from the yards more than the catches, but I think you can approach it either way.
I love that. I had that one written down, had the Tet one written down. So we're already lockstep here, which always feels good. I'm going to go Christian McCaffrey. You target the Seattle the amazing Seattle defense. Where they are weak is receptions and receiving yards to running backs. So this is the guy to do it with. Do I think he's going to go all the way to 110? Probably not, but I might be crazy enough to ladder it. But it starts at 50 plus, is plus 114, and I'm probably going to do at least a 3-rung ladder and ladder it up. I believe he got 80 or 90 in that first game. Now went from the first game of the season to the last game of the season, and for all the marbles. So, but Christian McCaffrey receiving yards. Kittle is going to play, but how healthy is he? I believe do we have an update on Pearsall? I think, did he get back to practice?
I thought
I'll have you that 1 second.
Okay. While you're looking that up, our guy Andrew in here, Degen Dads will be on later tonight. I need to tweet that later. Degen Dads, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. You'll get the doubleheader, another holiday week doubleheader here, where you'll get both bets and some underdog drafts tonight, 9:30. Join Andrew and Justin. He's talking about the Pollard and Dowdle incentives, which I talked about and I'm on. So we're lockstep. Andrew Dowdle for a touchdown, incentive 250. Pollard 66 yards, 250, and 2 touchdowns gets him another 250 as well. Christian McCaffrey is my first one, and I'm going to ladder it and have some fun with it. What is your next one, Tyler?
Looks like Ricky Pearsall was a limited participant all week in practice. He has a questionable tag. So my guess is he plays. I think he's had that questionable tag the last couple of weeks, so I think he'll still be out there. Yeah. But as for my next one, I kind of think you have to wait to bet this, just because we need the Rome news to make sure, because you might get a better number on this. This number seems way too low, and I know Luther Burton's emerged as the big fun new toy for Chicago. 32.5 on DJ Moore is absolutely disrespectful. You look at some of his recent, not even just his recent games. Yeah, he had 4 targets, 1 catch, 7 yards his last game. 97 the game before that, 69, 64. And then you look at his stretch at the beginning of the year, 68, 46, 21, 38, 42, 43, 73, 72. He's been involved in this offense. Mind you, he doesn't get more than like 5 targets. But you drop his number to 32.5 against a defense that can't stop a pass in Detroit with the quarterback who's looking to get over that 4,000 yards. I think 32.5 is too low. I'm just going to wait and make sure Rome's out. Because if Rome's rolled in, this might drop to like 29.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's a good point. Wait on that one. I do like Burden too. I believe he got back to practice.
I like Burden too. He was a full participant in practice too. Mind you, he just won me my fantasy championship this past week. Somehow, some way, that man went 1v3 against the trio that I was against of Trey McBride, Puka, and JSN. And he pulled me out alive. So
holy smokes. Yeah.
I'm fully indebted to Luther Burden. But
that's absolutely insane.
58.5 on him after what we were getting all year.
Yeah.
Seems a little inflated. And DJ Moore seems way underpriced. So that's why I'm targeting him over Luther.
Yeah, and he like you said, he had an illness the last game, so I think that's a good look. Mike Rob's giving me a hard time doxing Andrew Justin with the government names there. All right, Steve, what do you got next?
My next one, we talked about him already a little bit. Bijan Robinson, rush receiving, plus 130 is minus 114. Obviously, you can just take this up. Do I think he gets 250? No. But, I mean, this guy is so incredible.
He's insane.
I don't mind taking it up. I mean, 150 is plus 163. 160 is 215. 170 is plus 284. This guy is their offense right now. I think they're going to feed him the ball. Saints are not like in a terrible matchup. And they are playing for Raheem Morris's job. So I think they're going to keep him out there as much as they can.
I mean, they let you take it up to DraftKings to 250 for 27 to 1. I may have some fun with these ladders. Again, a lot of it's not going to hit, but I may have some.
Now at 27 to 1, that's a fun little sprinkle bet to see if he can finally break the record.
Yeah.
That was priced at like 10 to 1. And that they have that so not inflated. They have it so underpriced. They just know people are going to try and bet that record.
Right.
27 to 1 though, I might bite.
I might bite. That's just fun. Same with I think McCaffrey's 110 receiving is
and Bijan has to be, of all the running backs in the league, he has to be probably the best one. And also this new age running back, he's probably when CMC first showed up in his little stint, seems like Bijan's kind of doing the same thing. He's basically CMC 2.0. He might even be better.
They train together. And it shows. So, okay. So I like that, Steve, with the Bijan as your next pick. What do you got next, Tyler?
Actually, it was your pick, Meg. You were skipping yourself.
That sounds absolutely accurate for me. I'm going to go with the other tight. I'll lump 2 tight ends together, though I don't know if there's lines for both of them. So let me see here. First of all, I like the tight end in your game, though it's already been bet kind of raised, obviously, because his yards per route run and everything was much better than all the other Pittsburgh receiving options without DK Metcalf. And that's, of course, my guy, Pat Freiermuth. Had a couple spike week games, needed a couple more, but love him. Love Muth. 40 plus is plus 130. And you can approach it from receptions or yards, but I do think he is going to have to step up and be the weapon with Darnell Washington out. Johnny really hasn't delivered. Pat Freiermuth, I always ask, and I don't know if you asked this as a Steelers fan, why are they not getting Pat Freiermuth involved more? Why have they neutered him so much this season? Well, I don't think they have a choice this week because obviously the other receivers didn't get it done for them, and now they need to in a must-win game for the AFC North. What's your opinion on that one, Tyler?
You want to know why they haven't got him worked in, Meg?
Why?
Because name me another Penn State skills player in the NFL that actually plays good outside of Saquon Barkley.
Tyler Warren.
Hopefully.
That's one. All right, one and he's a rookie. So I mean, there's one other guy. These Penn State skills players don't pan out in the league. They look good for 1 year and then they just die off. Allen Robinson looked like a stud, and he just disappeared into the wind. I honestly don't think Freiermuth was that good of a football player coming out of college. He was a faster tight end, and that speed died in the NFL. He's not faster than anyone, and he gets concussed on every other hit.
he looks good every time they give him the ball. They just don't give him the ball enough, in my opinion. But
yeah, Meg, because when they get him the ball like 3 or 4 times, he's out for like 3 or 4 weeks with a concussion.
I'm a Freiermuth girl, so I'm betting it. But there was another tight end too, and
he will never be good in my book. Not good in football terms, but he will never be like on my good side for the simple fact that they passed on Creed Humphrey to bring him in when we needed a center.
Well, that's understandable. That's definitely understandable. My other one is I don't know if they have, like, so many they're not going to have lines for. Yeah, they don't have lines for the I don't see the Patriots receivers, but I do want to, the Patriots are playing for something. So yes, they could scoreboard watch and see Denver's killing the Chargers and back off in the second half. But in the first half, 5 receptions for Hunter Henry. That's got to be over. What I highly doubt they're juicing that. I don't see a line for it yet, but I like that. And then, if you go Diggs, he needs 8+ or 130+. I don't know that I'm going to go there, but I'm actually interested in the Hunter Henry when they give a line, but some of these are just going to be like look ahead lines. So Jamie says, so are you fading Singleton? I'm not sure. I don't play Dynasty. Steve plays Dynasty. Do you play Dynasty, Tyler?
I would rather give up fantasy football altogether than play Dynasty.
We were talking Jamie's
I think Dynasty is the worst setup for fantasy football. If I want to run a Dynasty team, I'll just go play Madden. Why would I ever want to carry my players over into the summertime?
Steve, give the selling pitch.
I know teams in Dynasty just get so stacked to where it's like, oh, here's my $100. This is going to be a 3-team race anyway, and I don't got a shot.
Steve loves Dynasty one, and obviously Jamie's, I believe, a big Dynasty guy. Follow all Jamie's content, who cranks out a ton of good Dynasty. I think IDP, all sorts of good content. Steve, what's your Dynasty pitch?
Yeah,
I just don't like setting lineups, so I the best ball girl now.
I wish I could have my Dynasty team not set lineups, but my take is you can get edge on knowing, on the problem is regular fantasy. If your team starts to go bad, you're just done. You draft Malik Neighbors, you're done for the year. You draft Malik Neighbors in Dynasty, not only can you trade Malik Neighbors, but you can start trading other pieces for more picks next year or younger players next year. So you can take a down year and make something of it.
I see what you're saying, Steve, but imagine a league with 3 of us in it, like me, you, and Meg. And then the rest of the people don't really know about fantasy football. So you just throw them a bunch of draft picks and you take all their best players. Just like Jamie just said. He always wins in Dynasty. 11 out of 29. Why amazing. Would I ever want to play in a league where a guy wins 11 out of 29 times?
Oh, Jamie runs 3 Dynasty best balls. Hey, let us know on that one. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know about you guys, but there's certain, for instance, there's guys that I was fully heavy on this year that I talked up throughout every best ball show. I might be fully out on them next year. They might just be nowhere near my teams. I don't want to have to try and deal off a guy that I could just be fully in on one year and fully out on the next.
Who are you out on this year? Just early preview here.
I haven't really pinpointed any yet, but I think our big guy, Derrick Henry, might be on the outs next year.
Oh, he might make you eat it one more year. No,
I was in on him this year, Meg. That was spread that was out on him.
Oh, I was going to say, you and Spread drafted a ton. Too bad you didn't push any of those to the finals because he was just
great.
The finals freaking hero. Okay. Is it my turn? I think so.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I keep going back to Mike Evans. Well, maybe we'll save that for touchdowns. In that Saturday game, line is only 60. I like your call on Tet in that game, but I'm going to lean into the whole Jaguars matchup, playing for obviously locking up the division. I don't see a line on it, but I'm going to be targeting Jacoby Myers and Trevor Lawrence. Lawrence, I believe you can get a line 250, not too juiced. So I like Lawrence at 250, or if you want to combine
Myers is 58.5 on FanDuel.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. He went for 90 in this matchup. What's that, Steve?
They have lines on DK for both.
Oh, I missed the Lawrence. I saw the Lawrence one. I missed the there it is. Okay. 60 plus minus 103. Yeah. Give me both. I like both Myers and Lawrence. All right, Tyler, back to you. Any others?
I just got to talk about it just once, just because we did it. We talked about it on the show, and I bet it the wrong Colts matchup when it came to Trevor Lawrence. We bet his anytime touchdown the first time they played the Colts, and his 2 touchdowns at 35-1. He didn't run one in. The second matchup, he hit both of them.
Both of those, yeah.
I was like, we were one game too early.
I know. Isn't that wild?
Yeah, it sucks, but I mean,
Mike Robb
it's
says
part
you're
of the
killing
game.
him on the fade Derrick Henry. Of course, our Mike Robb, resident Ravens fan. So it's you versus him on Saturday or Sunday Night Football. That is going to be
It's not me versus him, Meg. It's us versus Steelers.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You're on his side.
I mean, I could already tell you what's going to happen if we lose the game. The scapegoat will be Terrell Austin, the defensive coordinator. And then when Atlanta relieves Raheem Morris of his duties, he will be our new defensive coordinator. That's exactly what's going to happen if we lose.
Okay.
If we win, whoever we play in the first round, bet them by double digits.
I don't know if I could bet the Texans by double digits, if that's what that's the
those two edge rushers against Aaron Rodgers who can't move, they might score the points themselves.
We got our guy Paul in here. Again, join the Substack, link in the description, only $34.99 for the entire year. Come over to Discord. We've got a ton of people like Paul, Mike Robb, Andrew, of course, a lot of people who are in here giving great picks, coolers, people that have been on crazy heaters this year, giving their picks and reasons why. Paul says prepping for the big board and dynasty rookie drafts, 2 birds, 1 stone. And I will say, Steve is our resident, prospect expert. He freaking nailed Cam Scatterbo. We just did not get lucky with health on that one. Had Scatterbo stayed healthy the whole year, I do believe he would be the league winner that we're seeing those first, 7-8 weeks. So we not only will we dive into best ball strategy, but we will soon dive into prospect analysis too. And I can't wait to do that with Steve because we do it every year. A couple years ago, he got me on Laporta early. This last year, of course, he got me on Scatterbo early. Steve, anything to tease for the people? Is there any prospect that is already floating around in your mind that you're going to send me clips of like you did with Laporta and Scatterbo to get me on early? Anyone you want to tease, or are you going to save it for the show?
I think if there's one guy, it would be Sadiq, the tight end from Oregon.
Okay.
I think he's definitively going to be a first-round pick. We'll see if he gets a good landing spot. Yeah. But as we've seen in recent years, rookie tight ends are hitting at a pretty high rate, and he's an athletic freak. So if he gets anything resembling a good landing spot, I think he could be really interesting.
How did he do yesterday?
I mean, Oregon won, but it was a defensive battle. But yeah. he is a stud.
He's a stud. Okay. All right. Well, there's your early teaser, folks. Come back in January, in February, in March, as we're drafting big board drafts, before we're drafting big board drafts, to hear Steve's prospect analysis, because I'm telling you, it's helped me in every year of best ball, but especially the last couple of years. And I'm going to double down on Scatterbo. We all know that this year. All right. Whose turn is it? Steve, your turn? I don't think I only have like one more.
Yeah, no, I think it's my turn. I will second all the Jaguars plays. But this one there's not a line for yet, but just looking at the injury reports, no Wandale and Theo Johnson. I figured no Theo again, but Wandale surprised me a little bit. And I think that opens up Darius Slayton to really be the guy against his bad Cowboy secondary. He could get his highest targets of the year in probably a negative game script or a shootout game script. So I think that is a number that I'll be interested in pushing. And then an actual prop that you can get right now that I think is interesting. I will go to the Saturday games. I don't know what to make of the Buccaneers passing game, but I don't think they're going to be able to run on Carolina too well. Mike Evans, 60 plus, you can get plus money. Chris Godwin, 40 plus, you can get plus money. Those are my two favorite. I think it's also interesting. There's Coach Peak on Gain and Buka more involved. His numbers really come down. Like you can get hit at 25 plus minus 117. His prop is just above that. So I think at least two of these guys get there. Baker's not playing his best. I know that. I think Evans gets the toughest matchup. He will get the most targets. So that's why I don't mind going the lower lines of guys like Godwin and Mbuka, who we know are talented players.
Okay. My last two are the two tied to incentives and also motivation. Bears need to win for the set 2 seed. Darnold and Seahawks need to win for the 1 seed. If you want to get spicy and do 3+ passing touchdowns for Darnold, he certainly has a matchup where he can do it. We saw what Caleb did against the 49ers in prime time. Plus 267 for 3 passing touchdowns. If you think Caleb can be the first Bears quarterback to go for 4,000 yards, I think that's interesting. 270 plus, let's see, 250 plus for Caleb is 10 plus 104, 270 plus 135. So nothing crazy, but I think it's a viable look if you wanted to approach that. Okay, Tyler, did you have any other props before we get to touchdowns?
The only other one I had was, I only see it listed on Bet365 right now, but I would take him from 70 up to 100. And that's Michael Wilson. He's 93 yards away from 1,000.
Yeah.
He's gotten a lot of these targets, and they're playing the Rams. A lot of people were able to throw on the Rams. I know Bijan just showed you can run on them, but he's been the only running back that's really been able to run on that defense. So it's been through the air. I think that they just pepper Michael Wilson again, probably gets close to 100. And if the Rams pull their guys off the field, the Cardinals have no reason to pull these guys off. Yeah. He's going to just keep getting peppered. So 70s plus 110. Let me get you.
Exactly. Yeah, I like that.
Where'd they go? 70s plus 110, 80s plus 170, 90s plus 240, and 100s plus 350. I'll have a piece of all of those.
I like that. I like that look because Marv's out, right?
I believe. Marv is out, yes.
Yeah. So I like that a lot.
Any incentives McBride had, he probably won them in like week 6.
I think he can get the reception record or some kind of reception. Let me see if I can find it quickly. I cannot find it quickly, but I know he has something tied to receptions, but like not many more. It wouldn't be anything.
It's funny seeing all the Chiefs fans put up the draft from that year. I forget who they took one pick in front of McBride, but it was a bad player.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
What round was he? Second round?
I believe he was second or third.
He was a second tight end taken, but I still think he was second.
Second round. Okay. What year was that? That was 2023, 24, 20.
No, 2022.
Oh, okay. 22. All right, guys. I think we have covered props. Now let's talk touchdowns.
Watch out! He's got getting away from the top speed. Touchdown!
All right, touchdowns, and then we'll build a fun parlay to get out of here. And of course, everything will be sent to you. We will be tonight sending everything for the 2 Saturday games, both props and parlays. We've been doing really well on props. Now that things are slowing down, hopefully behind the scenes, I will count up our units on props. We've been doing much better on that recently. Of course, Bijan combined yards was the other on Monday night. But yeah, we will send out everything tonight for Saturday and Saturday for Sunday. But let's talk touchdowns now. Tyler, what touchdowns are you eyeing up for?
I'll take the easy one off the board, the low hanging fruit. Just give me Rico Dowdle plus 130. 250 grand on the table for this touchdown. I think that they will score at least 24 points in this matchup. Yeah. I think that they get in the red zone and he's going to pound one in. So give me that plus 130 on him.
I like that. If you wouldn't have said it, I would have taken it. So like that.
Also, I looked up the draft. This is just a funny giggle.
Yeah.
Just this 4 picks from the Steelers down to the Cardinals. The Steelers went Pickens. Yeah, he's not here anymore, but he's a solid player. They made the right pick there. Then the Colts took Alec Pierce. Much better fit for Kansas City, who's picking next. He would have been great with Mahomes. And then we're going to skip the Kansas City pick for a minute. Then Arizona takes Trey McBride. Kansas City, in between all that, took Sky Moore.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, they needed a receiver because they were replacing Tyreek Hill. Like,
yep.
McBride, honestly, like, yes, it's going to be great going forward, but he just would have sat behind Kelsey for the last couple of years and done,
yeah. But Sky Moore, I don't know what the receiver.
Still, like, you look back
on Kansas City is Pickens and Pierce going right before them.
Yeah,
you take either one of those guys, and they're a much better, different team.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Sure. Steve, what do you got as your first touchdown?
First touchdown, I'm going to go. Well, I'll give 2 here. One, I just mentioned him just across the board. Juwan Johnson, plus 155, I think is a great number for him, considering everyone else is out. But then the other one that I really like is I'm going to go to the Jaguars game. You mentioned Jacoby Myers, Brendan Strange, Parker Washington. I think you could take any of theirs. I actually like what Tyler said before. Give me Trevor Lawrence to run one in. Everything's on the line for them. I think he's been using his legs a lot more. He's got a lot more rushing touchdowns this year. I think he gets another one in this game, plus 210 for Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, how many rushing touchdowns does he have this year?
Like 7.
Yeah, wow. I knew he could use his legs more, but I didn't see that. So I like that. Steve, we've been getting the Mike Evans one home one more time for all the marbles here. Plus 160 for Mike Evans in that same game with Dowdle. I like that. We keep getting plus money. If they're going to win, I think Mike Evans is going to have to find the end zone. Tyler, what's your next one?
I mean, we already talked about him at 2 at 35-1. Just give me Debo at 1 at plus 360. I mean, I'm going to have a piece of the 2 also. All these guys are sitting for the Eagles. Why not target this defense? They're not playing for anything. The talk on Twitter is the offense will be fine with the way they're going to sit everyone. They have backups in certain spots. The defense, they're going to have to bring guys in off the practice squad to fill certain spots. There might be wide open zones in this defense where guys just don't know how to play. Debo has money on the line. There is nothing else the Commanders are playing for.
No.
Give me Debo to score a touchdown and give me him to score 2.
Yeah. No, I mean, what is 2, you said?
35-1 for 2, plus 360 for 1.
Nice.
I mean, it's just a fun sweat in week 18. And also, if he gets that 1 in the first quarter, you better bet your ass if they get close to that end zone, they're going to fight for that number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I like that. Steve, what do you got next?
Did you give a second one?
No, don't I usually go to you next, though?
Yeah, it's your turn, Steve.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm gonna go. Sorry. I'm gonna go to another game with something to play for, and that is the Bears. Mm-hmm. I think you could take either running back. Swift is plus 105, Monangai plus 120. This Lions defense has just been absolutely embarrassed, particularly on the ground of late. I mean, Jordan Addison was running for touchdowns against them. But I think while I like some of the passing attack overall, I think one of these running backs, probably both, get there against this Lions team, as the Bears are at home, have a little something to play for. And also, it's a redemption narrative. If we talked after week 2, when the Lions just absolutely embarrassed the Bears, nobody would have thought the Bears are even sniffing the playoffs. Lions are, back in the hunt. And now it's the reverse. So I think the Bears are looking to make a statement here. And of course, Ben Johnson's looking to make a statement.
Oh, yeah. After getting shellacked by them week 2, I definitely think he's looking to make a statement. I like that call as all. Mike said, Steve's so used to Meg skipping him. He was shocked when he was actually up. Fair, right, Steve? I mean,
very fair.
Very fair. I'm going to lean into the other. I don't think the Titans scored 0 points. Pollard's finished the season strong. He 66 yards and 2 touchdowns is where his incentives lie. But 1 touchdown, maybe just gets 1 plus 2075. If you did want to get spicy with the incentive of another $250,000 for 2 touchdowns, that is 13-1. But give me Pollard at plus 175. I think we're going to see some points in this game. I don't mind that look. Tyler, do you have any more that you're eyeing up at this point? I know we need to wait still for some, but the least touchdowns do have more lines.
I mean, just another team. They have nothing to play for. They're on their 3rd string quarterback. Their other 2 wide receivers are out, and this dude's got $300,000 on the line. Marquise Brown's plus 370. Playing a zone-heavy defense in the Raiders. I know there's a rivalry there, and the Raiders probably don't want them making any money or scoring any points, but got to think if they get close, they're going to look for Marquise Brown a couple times and try and get him that money. So I'll take a shot at plus 370.
I like that.
Just looking at those 2, I know they're playing with 3rd string quarterbacks and not Drake May, but they're plus 370 to score a touchdown with a couple $100,000 on the line. There's another guy on the board, Hunter Henry, who's minus 110 with less money on the line. It's just his quarterback is better.
Right.
I think that these teams have nothing to play for. They're just going to game plan for the incentive. So I'll take the shots on those 3-1s. They're almost 4-1.
Yeah, 4-1. Absolutely. Steve, any other ones you're eyeing up for either tomorrow or Sunday?
So for Sunday night, it's minus money, but it's Derrick Henry minus 150. That feels very light for a guy who just ran for 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
In a game when everything's on the line. Steelers has had some trouble stopping the run this year. Minus 150 feels like a pretty good number for Derrick Henry.
It feels like a pretty nice gift. Mike Rob, do you hear that?
We'll shave 20 cents off for you and give you a minus 130.
Oh, wow. Nice. Yeah.
So I like that. Another one that I wanted to mention kind of similarly is, Christian McCaffrey minus 160 and JSN minus 110.
Yep.
These are minus numbers, but these, as Tyler mentioned, they are the heart and soul of their respective teams. These teams are playing for everything. I know McCaffrey has the toughest matchup he's had in a couple weeks. JSN hasn't been as good as he was, for the first 14 weeks of the year, but he's still a great player, as we saw in the overtime game against the Rams. I think they're the focal points of their team. Just their number of touches and opportunities is going to be so high. I also don't mind parlaying them together to make it a plus money bet. And, just a simple 2-leg parlay for 208 on DK. So I like that for two teams that have everything to play for, and these are their centerpieces. And as Tyler mentioned, these are the two guys kind of going for Offensive Player of the Year as well.
Yeah. No, excellent point like that. And if you wanted to throw in the 2 picks that we said earlier for a little Saturday TD sweat, you can do Rico, Mike Evans, Christian McCaffrey, JSN, and you get a nice 17-1. So just throwing that out there for 2. Mike says that's my QB meme for Steve, supporting his Derrick Henry, Steve. I think that's all that I had. What's that?
You want a good laugh? Go look at the prices on the Chicago Bears and Detroit Lions touchdown scores. There are 9 guys priced at plus 150 or lower. They said, yeah, there's going to be points in this game. Good luck making money on it.
Good luck. Yeah. After what they saw on the, after the 49ers game, that is funny. I didn't even realize that. Any other touchdown guys?
The only other one I'm looking at, he scores every time he plays the Steelers. Isaiah Likely's plus 410. I swear he finds the end zone every time.
Yeah, didn't he almost score the last time? And we talked
about that'd have been number 2 in that game. He had already scored once.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right. Because I was thinking about it, I was like, oh, this Tyler totally called that, which you did. In their matchup. What was that? Just 3 weeks ago. Okay, so we talked props.
I had one more touchdown.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. Oopsies.
Again, I think it's an easy matchup. Colts secondary has gotten worse. Give me Nico Collins plus 155. Texans, need to get the win. Need nothing crazy to happen. And I think they go with their guy, Nico.
Yeah, no, I did mean to mention Nico. So lockstep there, like it. Mike says you're hitting all the contract incentives, Tyler, having a banger.
If they give me some of their money, they win.
There you go. So we are now going to build. I think we talk props, we talk touchdowns. We have a lot more to get to because this is Degen Power Hours. So to end the prop party portion, what do you say we build a Saturday incentive, but also both Saturday games mean everything for who's going to win the NFC West and the NFC South. What do you think about that? Any interest in that, guys, to end this, to end the prop party portion?
I'm down. Sure. I'll start it off.
Let's do it.
At 70.
Yep, exactly. That's why I was hoping somebody would do that. Let me and of course we'll shop around, look at any promos or whatever before we lock anything.
We just fully buy into this incentive thing, because if you go 70 and then just grab the Rico Dowdle touchdown, that gets you to plus 376 right off the bat.
Okay, let's start there. Steve, what that can be Tyler's portion. What's your portion?
How crazy are you wanting to do it?
Well, I'll tell you that I'm either going to do CMC, maybe not all the way to 110, but very high receiving or Darnold 3 touchdowns. So fairly crazy.
I like the Darnold 3 touchdowns.
You want to do that?
Yeah.
Let's do that. Okay, Darnold. Wait, let's go passing touchdown. So this is gonna be it's gonna be a total lotto. This is probably gonna be 100-1. 3 touchdowns is plus 267. See, we're already at 1660. Let's see what McCaffrey receiving. Obviously 110. That's a major outlier. But again, in this matchup, let me see what he got. Again, it was week 1, so we're talking about Though they did have a full complement of receivers week 1. I think Kittle went out during that game after he scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
But what did he get in?
He had 9 for 73 in that game.
9 for
on
73
10 targets.
Yeah, I mean that is the way to attack the Seattle defense, and I'm pretty sure Kyle Shanahan will adjust for that. So let's see here. What if we do? I mean, again, he could try to go all the way for the major milestone. The only player to ever have 2 times of 1,000 rushing, 1,000 receiving. But if you wanted to like 80 plus, what does that take it to? That takes it to 71-1. 70 plus takes it to right around the 50-1. I mean, I might do this and then ladder it up with the like something crazier. But what do you guys think of this? 70 Tet, Rico anytime, 3 Darnold passing touchdowns, 70 McCaffrey receiving yards. We get a total. Look, price it out. Look for boost 51-1. Maybe we get a little higher with the boost. What do you guys think of this?
I like it.
Lotto.
Yeah, that's a fun lotto. I mean, it's not that crazy either. Like, it's really, really not that crazy, both based on matchups and incentives, and that all 4 teams are just absolutely motivated to win their division. So again, we will finalize it. I'll put it in the Discord tonight. That's why you should jump in the Substack, sub to the Discord. Make sure you get in with us, chat with us, and I will put it in the Discord. We'll also send it out to Substack tonight, because that we're sending out Saturday bets tonight. So yeah, look for Saturday Substack bets and parlays sent tonight, Sunday DFS and bets and parlays sent tomorrow for Sunday. And we're going to keep continuing, but any final thoughts for the people, Tyler, before you get out of here? Steve and I will keep talking week 18 DFS and then underdog drafts, and then finish with best ball playoff drafts. What do you, any final thoughts?
It's a fun show. Don't forget to bet all the incentives. I think we pretty much nailed all of them. So as long as these guys want their money, we should be able to make some money off of them too. So
exactly.
Could be a fun week, and then right after that's playoffs. So then we get to take our stands. Who's going to win the Super Bowl? Who's coming out the AFC? Who's coming out the NFC? It'll be a fun couple shows.
Exactly. We got, counting this week, we have 4 weeks of good football left, and then the Super Bowl. So That's how I'm looking at it. I know that, every week we go by after wild card, we're down to games. This is when I get super sad, but you know what? We're going to take full advantage now to start 2026 off right. And again, like Tyler said, if these guys make money on their incentives, we'll make money. So let's have a little fun with that too. But Tyler, lock these in with us so we can have some hits here together and some sweats together here tomorrow and Sunday.
Cool. And I'll let you guys get on to the underdog drafts, and I'll still be in the chat. So I will
love
you guys next week.
All right. Love it.
Tyler.
Thanks, Tyler. Take it easy. All right, Steve. What is Mike says 55-1 on underdog for the Saturday parlay, riding with the team. Perfect.
That's interesting, because usually underdog doesn't give you as good of odds.
No, I mean, that's solid to get that on underdog too. Might put it there as well. So, all right. So now we're going to talk DFS week 18. Again, we covered a little best ball recap. We covered our week 18 prop party. Now it's going to be DFS week 18. Then we'll go over to the underdog streets. Then we'll go over to the playoff best ball streets. Hang with us. This is quite the Degen Power Hours, and we appreciate you. Hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Check out the link in the description for our Substack so you can get all these picks that we just send right to you. Jump in the Discord with us. Kick says, I'm sure the NFL coaches and players would disagree, but I think the NFL season is too short. I do too. I mean, just make it as long as possible. I know people are like, oh, with the injuries. Again, I'd rather watch like Browns Jets than any other sport. So all right, Steve, you're running the on the ones and twos here. Break it down for us. What are your quarterback priorities?
Yeah, so quarterback, and this is the difference between underdog and DraftKings, is the ability to pivot. Things like Stafford or Dak Prescott or some of these guys who we don't know for sure if they're 100% going to play. We can build lineups around them and then pivot out of it. You can't do that the same on the underdog dailies. Like right now, no Stafford, just because I think he ends up sitting more. But it's something just want to highlight. This is the difference of doing DFS versus the dailies.
Sure.
For me, my priorities: Drake May. I think at home, a lot to play for. Yes, potential scoreboard watch, but I think they put up a big game against Miami to go out at a high note. Like you said, there's some incentives out there for some of the pass
Yeah.
catchers. And May is also cementing his MVP case, which is, just I think huge for himself, the franchise, everything after, it's just been so bad the last couple of years. So he's my number one kind of priority, like spend up guy. I like Dak. You and I, debated this a little earlier in the week, but I think we're both on the same page now is even though it's on the road, I'd rather be at home. I think Dallas is going to play their stars. I think Dak is going to go for the passing record.
Passing title.
I think it's a division rival. Jerry Jones is old school. He is not going to want to see the Giants win. He's not going to want to see, yes, they're not going to have a winning record, but he just doesn't want to see them drop another game here, particularly in the division. So I think Dak goes all in. So I'm big on him. Well, I don't mind Burrow, at home, and Brown and Stephens doesn't scare me too much. Next guy I'm pivoting to is Trevor Lawrence. I think Trevor Lawrence has everything to play for at home. It's so crazy. You and I talked about this when, mid-season, early season, mid-season, Jags started hot, but then they looked kind of faulty. And the Colts plummeted. Texans were even in a bigger deficit, and Jags are not only going to have the division, they're going to have one of the best records in football this year with a win here. Trevor Lawrence and Liam Cohen are just playing, just so much more in sync now. So I'm a big fan of that. My next two guys are back-to-back here, Caleb and Dart. I was actually kind of surprised to see Wandale out, so I do think that hurts Dart a little bit.
Wait, he's not officially out yet, is he?
No, Wandale's out. That's what it was on.
Yeah, I mentioned it on the CBS show, and I knew he was questionable, but I didn't realize.
I thought he was going to play.
Okay, didn't see that. I just thought it was one of those that it was like banged up. I didn't realize it, but I mean, again, last game of the season, you're not playing for anything. I get it, but I was looking forward to potentially stacking Dart Wandale. So you might do a little Dart Slayton.
Yeah, so it is getting thin on his pass catchers, but I think Dart Slayton is still viable, and Caleb at home. As I said before with the props, I think Ben Johnson is going to want to put it to the Lions and really get into the playoffs on a big high note. So that's like my core right there. I don't mind Tyler Shuck, though again losing his best receiver in Olave, that hurts some. And that's kind of it. Like I said, am I gonna sprinkle a Burrow? Sure. A Bo Nix? Yeah. Because Chargers are going to probably rest some defensive stars as well. But those are not going to be priorities. I'm mainly going to be May, Dak, Lawrence, Caleb, and Dart. Those five.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you there. Caleb was one that I keep coming around to more. I mean, you had to think that like the first, again, all that matters is they win, lock up the second seed.
Yeah.
I think Ben Johnson probably wants to get a little payback to his former employer for the beat down week 2 and going to the playoffs strong. And I don't know, there's some, I could see some narrative. Like if he gets 270, that could be like a really nice high to go at first Bears quarterback to throw for 4,000 yards. I don't know. I'm pretty intrigued by Caleb's stacks. I'd probably just stack him with the cheap stack of Loveland and Burden, or one of the two or both. But
yeah. So that's where I'm at. Like, and if there's a true cheap play I'd play, it would be probably Tanner McKee against us, Washington, because I think he's decent.
Yeah, but he'll be limited with weapons as well. Aren't they setting all the starters?
Yeah, but I honestly don't know if it matters against us.
Yeah, his defense is terrible.
So we've seen JJ McCarthy, we've seen Jackson Dart, we've seen a lot of like bad quarterbacks get there against Washington this year. So
the last one I'll mention is it bothered me for your Superflex team that we were rooting on, because you had Kirk and Stafford going in the last game. And I know Mike Robb joked in the CBS chat, heart play for Meg, Kirk Cousins. That's true. He is always a heart play for me. I absolutely love Kirk Cousins. Have the shirt. And by the way, announcement, when I get back to Baltimore, I will be adding the Scatabo Angry Runs t-shirt. So it'll be Kirk Cousins. You like that? Scatabo Angry Runs. Don't you think that's a perfect background, Steve?
Yeah.
I mean, Mike Robb's always giving you a hard time about your background. I mean, I have the perfect background here. So I'm adding the Angry Runs shirt, but I'm keeping Kirk. I believe he's going to get a starting gig, whether it's Atlanta or somewhere else next year. I believe he wants to play for that. I was very upset for your Superflex team that the coach neutered him and did not let him air it out. And it was just so conservative. So that was very frustrating. But last game of the season, I mean, if he somehow got 3 passing touchdowns, he'd tie John Elway. But I just think he, is looking to finish the season strong and have a bid to be a starting quarterback next year. So I think that's a cheap, incredibly low one that you could pair with Bijan in a very different way that I don't mind.
Yeah, I just worry, like you said, they're neutering him. He's got
annoying.
He's got like no shot 300-yard bonus. He's got, you know what I mean? Like it's just tough. Like he could have a very, very good real life football game. And even if he gets the 3 touchdowns, like if he throws 240 and 3, even at that price, like you could get Tanner McKee to do that. You could get Tyler Shuck to do that.
Yeah.
And both of those have rushing upside.
Yeah, that's true. We got Stephen WC in here. Always good to see you, GM, everyone. Great to see Stephen WC. Hopefully you had a wonderful holidays. Happy New Year to you. Mike Rupp says, Steve, I need a shipper so I can win the CBS League I just joined. Going to flex on them with the Fanspeak logo in my profile picture. I love that, Steve. You got to give him the shipper. And he says, he approves my background, but he gives you and Andrew, they break him with theirs. So you have some work to do, Steve. Do you want a Scatterboo t-shirt to put in your background?
I'm good.
Well, you're missing out. So, all right. I think we covered quarterbacks well. Let's go down to running backs. I start with Bijan. I'm sure you do too. What else do you like?
Yeah. And, I'm very big on Bijan. James Cook is one, again, going back to the difference between this and the dailies, like, last minute, if we hear they're going to let him go for the rushing record and stuff like that, then I don't mind it. Mm-hmm. If not, I'm going to avoid it. And Chase Brown, I know he said he's going to play. He's, I think, sick or something, but he said he's going to play. I think he's fine. ETN
he's only like 60 yards away from 1,000 too.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And he's just got a good touchdown upside, even though P. Ryan will undoubtedly steal one.
You're so annoying. Yeah.
ETN and Harvey, I think, are both very good plays. Both teams home favorites, everything to play for. So I like those two. Kind of just skipping this whole group. Either I know Kyron said he's probably going to play, but totally skipping that this next area. And then I'm just going to go down. Deciding on a Patriots running back, I think you could play either one. Hendo or Stevenson.
Yeah.
Tyron Tracy against the Cowboys, Malik Davis. Because I do think Javonte Williams is going to be out. I think those two are fine. As I mentioned before, Bears running backs, more Swift than Monangai. I don't mind Swift. I skipped over him. I think he's okay. But Tank Bigsby against us, I'm sure Will Shipley gets some work as well.
Cheaper, but yeah.
I mean, 5,400 is pretty cheap. And then the final one would be Dylan Sampson. He didn't do much last week, but he had 11 carries, 3 targets. He faces a weaker defense this week. Browns are probably going to try and get the rookies involved as much as possible. And he's like the last guy left with Fannin out. So, that team is just so beat up right now.
All right, let me just give my additions. JT going for the rushing title. Again, he plays a 1, Cook plays a 4. Going for the rushing title, Steichen has mentioned supporting that, obviously. Has had an insane season, but tailed off. It would be fun to see him finish the season strong, get the rushing title. And he's just going to be like a super contrarian play, most likely. Harvey in a must-win game, for the Broncos to get the 1 seed. And Pollard with the incentives, maybe some kind of pushback to the Trevor Lawrence stacks. Those are my 3 additions, but I liked all the ones you mentioned. All right, let's go to receivers. Obviously, the Jaguars stacks. You talked about Slayton. We talked about like Burden, Lamb Pickens. If you think Dallas is going to play their starters the whole game. Chase, if you think Burrow is going to play into the third quarter. But what else do you got?
Yeah, that is the key, guys. I think Nico Collins, again, I'm looking at guys, and I think Tyler made a good point mentioning Michael Wilson. He's close to 1,000 yards. That's huge for him personally. And, he's had a good year. I think they reward him with opportunities. And even if, no matter the game script, I think they stick with that. Sutton, as I mentioned before, I think the Chargers are going to be seeing a lot of guys, so I don't mind that because I think his matchup gets a lot better. But then I'm going to look for value. The Jaguars receivers are all underpriced in my book. My favorites being Jacoby Myers, Parker Washington, but even Brian Thomas. I think you can say they're all undervalued. And so I'm going to be playing all of them. I'm gonna kind of the way I'm gonna approach it is stars and scrubs, like others, like scrub prices I like. Higgins from Houston, we saw he had a big week last week. He's generally been more involved down the stretch. I think from the other side, I know Mike mentioned I am Minor, but DK is getting way more involved. It's actually had a good year for them. With his special teams work and everything, and he's just been rewarded. You look lately 5.55, 8.47 in terms of targets, so you get some downfield targets. So it wouldn't take much if there's any sort of pushback. But now Slayton is like one of my favorite guys. I think Trey Tucker is another guy who gets rewarded, in this matchup with a bunch of targets, and that's kind of it. Like I think you could. With the starters, a revenge narrative for Jahan Dotson. Tanner McKee is not, he's actually good. Like he would probably start around about 8 teams in this league right now, I feel like. So I think a 3,800 revenge narrative, Jahan Dotson is interesting. And then, it does sound like Amon-Ra is going to play. If he wasn't playing, I think Tesla would have been very interesting at 3,700, but it sounds like Amon-Ra is going to play. Meg, I think you're muted.
Oops, sure am. Thank you. Did you talk about Diggs at all? Could see if they aren't scoreboard watching that, and if they are playing a full go, he's got a ton of incentives too. Any interest in Diggs? So cheap.
Yeah. The tough thing is his one incentive is relatively easy to get. I know the 8, but then it's like 8 catches and 130. I don't know if he gets to those extremes. So I don't know. It's kind of a gray area for me for Diggs, but I actually like him better on like Underdog than here, just where he's lining up.
Gotcha. All right. Let's see. All right, let's talk tight ends then to finish it out, and then we'll do some Underdog drafts, some playoff drafts, and wrap up for this Friday evening because you got a doubleheader with Degen Dads later tonight. And if you're watching over on Twitter, come over to the YouTube streets, say hi. We see a lot of people are watching, not many on the YouTube streets. So come on over, say hello, hit that like button. We certainly appreciate it. All right, wrap it up with tight end, Steve. We both are locked in on Juwan Johnson. Who else do you like?
Yeah, so just another point, the difference. Love Trey McBride on Underdog. Don't like him at all at this price on DK. So I'm going to be Juwan Johnson, Colston Loveland, and Brenton Strange quite a bit. I'll probably sprinkle in a few other guys. Like you can make a Michael Mayer, Chiga Konkwu, Mike Gesicki cases. I saw where Tyler Higbee could play, so I originally was going to say Colby Parkinson or I'm sorry, Terrence Ferguson. But now if Higbee's back, I don't like that anymore. Yeah. So that's kind of where I'm at. Like I don't want to chase like some of these like all the Minnesota tight ends. I'm not gonna chase like Josh Oliver, or I'm not going to chase Ben Sennett or Jeremy Ruckert or some of these other. I don't even know who the third Browns tight end is since both Njoku and Fannin are out. I don't want to chase that kind of stuff. We did see Dulcich with Waller being out before getting some usage, but probably not. I think I'm really going to be tightly focused on Juwan Johnson, Loveland, and Strange mainly. Probably a little Dalton Schultz as well. He's had a pretty good year, good matchup, and I just think he, if he gets a touchdown, he would be very much in play.
Yeah, no, I like that. All right, so we covered it all here on the DFS streets. Again, look for Steve's article on Substack. Again, link in the description to check out our Substack. Sending stuff tonight for Saturday, tomorrow, or for Sunday, and you'll get a written article of DFS top plays. So I think that covers that. Now let me bring over Underdog and we can rip through. Actually, let me finish. I was almost done. I just applied the boost. So the boost that we did on, the parlay we did with Tyler, Rico touchdown, 70 plus Tet yards, 3 plus Darnold touchdowns, and 70 McCaffrey receiving yards was 56-1. With the bonus they have on DK, it's now 73-1. So I'm locking that in now, and then I will put it in Discord after our show. So now let me bring over Underdog. We will first do some, because like you said, some of these situations are like, let's just stay off of it for the Sunday slate for right now, while we're waiting for more news. But that's something that you can like definitely lean into more on DraftKings than Underdog. So now we can talk about in kind of context to Underdog dailies. Let me change the banner here. We're going back to Underdog Battle Royale. And then after this, we will do a couple mittens, playoff drafts. And then next week, Steve and I will do a sibling showdown show where we do both drafters and Underdog playoff best ball, since that's how we had to get it in before playoff best ball and of course, NFL playoffs start that following Saturday. So, all right, Steve, we talked through a lot of the players we liked. Again, some we're going to lean into, some we're not. Did you want to rip a primetime palooza together first? Because I don't know if anybody knows, but if you saw on Discord, I took down the Christmas Day slate on the extra point 2. I won $1,000 waiting for my goat horns. Very excited about that. So I'm liking these short slates. Of course, that was like more of a single entry or a smaller field. This has 16,000 entrants, 15K up top. But I like these Saturdays. So why don't we do one of these, 1 or 2 battle royales, and then a couple mittens? What do you think?
Sounds good.
Let's do it. All right. I'm getting in. Oops, these. I set my location, but let's just see what happens here. Do you have to usually refresh?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me do a little hard refresh here. I mean, only 4 people can get in these, so it's going to be tough if you were trying to get in. And now you have plenty of time.
You might need to do it from your phone and then.
Yeah, I can do that. All right, so let me pull it up on my phone here and then bring it over.
And to Mike's question about Michael Mayer getting more involved, yeah, I mean, I think Mayer and Trey Tucker will get plenty of usage, and the Chiefs are missing a lot of key defense players, so I don't mind Mayer. I don't know if they're thinking long term. Who knows what they're thinking in that on that team.
They got to want to lose for Mendoza.
Yeah, but no, they need to trade Mayer this offseason. Their allocation of resources has been awful.
Yeah. All right, one more to start. I jumped in the primetime palooza now. Let me pull it over here. Okay. Let me go back.
You're not sharing the screen.
I know, I'm working on it here.
Okay.
Sharing now starts in 55 seconds. We got the 4th pick. Bummed. Wanted obviously McCaffrey or JSN. I don't love Bucky this week, Steve. Is that weird to you? I don't know. He hasn't run that efficiently. So I just don't like in these situations having to spend up for Bucky. I'm fine with Kittle Purdy, but has a really tough matchup. So I'm not sure how I've even done some Mike Evans, Tet in this situation, and I've done some Kittle Purdy, but I haven't done Bucky. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely probably lean Kittle Purdy if that's what we end up with. But yeah, not a huge fan of Bucky. I think either Seattle running back can do what he can do, Dowdle can do what he can do. There's obviously a big gap between McCaffrey and the rest. But yeah, if you miss out on McCaffrey, I don't feel the need to go Bucky.
Yeah, agreed. All right, so it started, of course, goes McCaffrey. I'm guessing JSN, and then it'll just be it's really just, I've done like 10 of these. I did a bunch when they had the $5 primetime palooza. So yeah, Kittle goes. So I'm going to bypass, unless you want to mix it up and do like Purdy Evans. Did you want to do Evans Tet in the same game? What do you think?
Let's actually do Purdy Tet.
Purdy Tet? You want to do Evans?
Yeah, I mean, Evans has the toughest matchup, honestly, of any receiver on the slate. So.
Really? Who's he going up against?
Oh, I mean, J.C. Horn. And,
okay.
And they're both Carolina's corners have played really well this year.
Yeah, and I mean the Bucks have been in a pass funnel, so just have to trust Bryce Young. That's the tough part about it. There. Oops, I forgot to go to the draft. There we go. Now we're cooking. Okay, so we mix it up. We go Purdy, Tet there at the turn since we had the 4th spot. Yeah, probably this 3 spot was hoping we'd let Purdy fall back. We did not. So yeah, the only tough thing is, it does feel thin after Barner, but I don't love taking Barner so early. You know what I mean? But I'd say here we take one of these running backs, either one of the Seattle or Dowdle has moved up. Charbonnet already went. So yeah, it would be Rico or Walker. Hopefully one falls to us. This guy has no running back. The next spot has a running back. So again, in these primetime short slates, you're just looking for like positional scarcity and then what the players are going to do around you. So yeah, they didn't have a running back. They go Dowdle. Hopefully this person doesn't take Walker, but they might. Yep, they take Walker. We're screwed. So do you want to go Barner here? Again, it gets a little thin as far as
let's go Barner. We're already gonna be thin at running back. Let's not be thin at tight end also.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk it through. We're not going to take quarterback, so then we'll just focus on running back receiver. As you can see, it just basically we're screwed. We just have to, what I actually don't mind. It didn't work out for me late in the season with Rachaad White, but does it show the games? Yeah. Against Carolina, he had a much better yards per carry than, but I'm saying for later. We'll talk about it later. Anyways, who do you want to go here? Do you want to pair up Pearsall?
Jennings is gone. Damn. Let's do Pearsall.
Yeah. I think that's good. We get the Purdy Pearsall stack, Tet, Barner. So, we're going to be thin at running back, but I think like a fun scroll down option there would either be, you could do Tucker if you're just counting on 2 touchdowns, but at least Rachaad White gives you a little something in the pass game. These past couple weeks, just a couple receptions.
Honestly, I think Tucker is the better play just because we're not doing the Bucks passing game. And if they get 2 1-yard rushing touch, like this is the difference between the short. Tucker has 0 value in a regular slate. But in this, like 1 touchdown could be enough. 2 touchdowns, you could win the whole damn thing. And
2 touchdowns, you could win the whole damn thing. He's usually that's all he gets
back. But I'm saying like if that's there, that's more likely than like his ability to get more than.
All right, who else do you want to take? We need probably 1 receiver, obviously, and then we could go Tucker as like the scroll down option.
Can you just scroll down receiver a little bit?
Take this out. So it's Mbuka, McMillan, Kupp, Leggett, Demarcus Robinson. It's yuck.
Probably just go Mbuka.
McMillan got more than last week. Do you have any lean there?
He had 5 targets, and Mbuka had 5 targets. Wouldn't McMillan have about the same, right?
9.
Yeah, I don't know. I know there was coach speak about wanting to get Mbuka back more involved, but
I don't know. Oh, there was. Okay, I'll let you choose.
Let's go McMillan.
It's like we have 2 Tampa scroll downs now. So kind of a weird draft. The 4 spot, obviously not my favorite, but we go Purdy. Tucker is a little scroll down. Tet, Pearsall stacked with Purdy, McMillan, AJ Barner. I'm glad we took Barner because I don't think you want to be like totally thin at 2 positions there, like you said. So I like that. All right, now let's go into, I'll enter on my phone. We can do a couple of these battle royales. Mike asks, what do you think about Tonjes as a last round combo with if you get blocked out at tight end? With Kittle playing, I don't love it, but I do think Kittle could be a little limited, but I don't love it because I don't think they run a lot of 2 tight end sets. What do you think, Steve?
Well, they run a lot of 2 tight end sets. They just don't throw to the second tight end.
Oh, okay. That part I didn't know. Thank you.
There's use check or 2 tight ends. Like they're always having like another blocker on the field almost. They're an 11 personnel, one of the lowest percentages in the league generally.
Oh, really? Okay, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. But when they have Kittle, it's fine because he's like a receiver. Yeah.
Right. Let me see if this lets me enter from here. Of course, Battle Royale. Nope. Okay, I'm going to enter from my phone. I'll count it down from my phone. If Mike or anybody wants to join us for Battle Royale Week 18, we're going to do 2 drafts. I'll count down the first one from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Enter. 2 more to start. 1 more to start. So let me pull it up.
But to answer Mike's question, like honestly, I'm fine like taking
Okay,
Tommy
we got
Trumbull.
Mike and Legion in here. Nice. Let's go. Great to see you guys in here with us. Go ahead. Sorry, interrupted.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm, waiting a tight end. I mean, I actually think Kate Otton's fine.
Yeah.
But, you want to take a shot at Tommy Trumbull, go for it. Like if he gets out of you're just hoping for a touchdown at that point. I understand this logic with Tonjes as well. But he's just, it's like when Kittle plays, he does nothing. So, and Jatavian Sanders is out. So Tremble or Mitchell Evans, just take a shot at one of those. Hope they get an extra target or 2.
So just like prioritizing, like I know like Detroit's playing their starters, but I don't love it. I don't love Puka in case they don't play. I don't love like James Cook. I mean, I guess these are like the top ones that I have priority. Would you add anything different? Again, we're talking in the context of Underdog and news potentially coming out late. Like I'm not going to draft like a Puka.
I will say, I don't mind Gibbs as much on Underdog because it's not like
he went,
but yeah, like
yeah, right.
Like
right.
I agree. Like he probably shouldn't go number 2.
Well, Mike took him 1. So, I mean, Gibbs can smash any week. It's totally fine. Mike takes him 1. Cook goes 2. Legion's up. And then, I mean, if Bijan falls, we'll take him. If not, do you want to go McBride or Jamar Chase?
I'll take McBride.
Okay. Just like,
yeah, I mean, I think Juwan Johnson is a fine tight end play, but McBride has the ability to just double up every other tight end.
Yeah, that's the reason I do kind of like Juwan John, like waiting on tight end, but I totally get it in your case in point there. Nico, obviously to play everything to play for. I'm just kind of like marking the guys that have everything to play for. Going for the rushing title. Wow, Michael Wilson up to 18 ADP. I get it though. Okay, we're almost back up. Let's see what he does here. Okay, he does go Chase. So do you want to go Nico or a falling Liam?
Liam or Pickens would be my lean.
Okay. So you're not worried about them even in the context of this?
No.
Okay.
No, right. I mean, I kind of like Pickens more, but.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
I got trying to make his money the last, yeah.
Like he has everything to play for. Also, like I know he dealt with some nagging injuries, but Lamb had a concussion. So anything even remotely head related, he's out.
Yeah, that's a good point. We got our guy Tim D in here, Patriots fan. Very exciting season for Tim and all Patriots fans for sure. But happy New Year to you, Tim, and hope you're having a good day. And yes, let's have a good week to start the new year off right. All right. So Mike goes Gibbs, Pickens, who you just mentioned, JT going for the rushing record. We are back on the clock. And Drake May is at the top of the board. Michael Wilson, Chase Brown. You could pair Dak. What do you want to
do? Let's do Chase Brown. Chase Brown or Harvey, either one.
I'll let you choose. 6 seconds.
Well, let's do Chase Brown.
Okay. Going up against Cleveland defense doesn't concern. I mean, I guess that's kind of changed, obviously. Okay, we'll be back up. If Dak is still there, do you just want to like lean into he's going for the passing title? We have Lamb.
Yeah, that was my thought. And if, I figured one of, maybe not, there's 2 teams in between us. Maybe they both take a quarterback, but I figured we'd have shot at either Dak or May. doing it this way.
Pete, great to see you. Thank you for coming in and joining us. Happy drafting, folks. Marv ruled out, which is a nice bump for Wilson and McBride. Agreed. But thanks for joining us. We appreciate you. Mike says, keep talking. Totally not sniping all your great picks. Okay, we're back on the clock. So it's May or Dak queued up there. Did you want to go ahead and take Dak? What do you want to do?
Yeah, let's take Dak.
I mean, we can just kind of leaning into a narrative on this one, right? So, all right, so we're 6 picks away. So I'll go back to the board again. We talked about Mike starting Gibbs, Pickens, JT, Legion starting Bijan, which at 3 I think is awesome. ETN and Loveland, pretty nice there. We'll see if he goes for like a Caleb stack or no, he goes May, which obviously is just a great pick overall. And then back on the clock at the turn for Mike. And yeah, then we'll be left with our last 2 picks here. Oh my God, I just got a wave of tiredness. Yeah, I mean, it feels early for Wilson, but I guess it's really not with Marv being out. Would you draft Wilson in that area, Steve?
I think in that area is completely fine. For us, no, because we're betting on McBride, but yeah.
Right. Yeah, so we start McBride, Lamb, Chase Brown, Dak, leaning into the Dak going for the passing title. Yeah, I get what you're saying about Pickens too. Makes sense. So we will be up in 2 here, probably looking running back, receiver, with the last 2 picks. You could go, you talked about Travion, Swift, Tank Bigsby's really high up there. Sutton, Diggs, I like those. Burden, any of those I really feel comfortable with, because other ones, I don't know, just feels a little more iffy. So, I mean, we don't even know if Saquon's playing. So what do you think here with this pick? 2 more picks.
I don't think we should do Travion.
Go Swift?
You want Swift. Yeah.
There's just really nobody else that's playing for
Let's
anything.
do Swift.
Okay. And then I don't know if you want to take out Burden then if we just
take out Burden.
Yeah. So, there's
plenty of receivers, I think.
Yeah. I mean, talked about Debo during the props portion of the show. You could do Parker Washington.
Yeah.
You could do Brian Thomas if you prefer, pick your Jags receiver. You talked about Jordan Higgins, Slayton. Yeah. So we're up. Who do you want to take? You want to go Sutton with everything to play for? Most projected points?
Yeah, let's go Sutton. I mean, I just think I don't mind Parker Washington there either, but Sutton.
All right, so we finish out McBride, Lamb, Chase Brown, Dak, stacked with Lamb, Swift, Sutton. Legion finishes out Bijan, ETN, Loveland, May, Diggs. So got the May Diggs stack with Parker Washington. I like that. Mike goes Gibbs, Pickens, JT, Myers, Pitts, and Cousins. Going with my guy Cousins, Mike. I love it. I absolutely love it. All right, we're doing 1 more of these, and then we're doing a couple mittens, getting into the playoff streets, getting, just a warm up today, and then we'll do a full sibling showdown of multiple of course, playoff best ball drafts next week. So let me enter on my phone. I'll count it down if you want to join us for 1 more battle royale before we head to the playoff best ball streets. Let's see here. Okay, battle royale. I'm going to count it down from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Enter. And draft starting soon. So if you got in under flow, or I apologize. It is starting shortly. We'll see if we got in with anybody, and it looks like we did not. So I apologize if you were trying to get in with us and did not. But at least we got, Legion and Mike in with us on the last one. So we have the first pick. You want to go Bijan, Steve?
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. And then I'm just getting ready then. Again, right after this draft, we will jump into the Mitten playoff best ball streets. They now have the Mitten 2 out, which interesting enough, as we're waiting for this draft to fire up, 29 seconds. The Mitten this year is a 2 out of 6 out of the pod, but then like 1 out of 10, 1 out of 10 in the next 2 rounds to get to the Super Bowl. The Gauntlet and Summit, which I did max the 3 max summit is just, I believe, 1 out of 6 and then 1 out of 5, 1 out of 5, something like that. We'll look at that a little bit more closely when we get started, but just wanted to mention that as we're waiting, pay attention to advance rates for whatever type of contest on Underdog. So we are going Bijan to start this off. Mike says they did get in the pre-flow. Oh, and kicks. So Mike, Legion, kicks in the pre-flow. That's why I couldn't get in. They got their
Greg pulled you.
Well, good luck to all 3 of you. May we all draft some, good teams here. But yeah, that's funny that all 3 got into the pre-flow. Okay, let me put this up since we have a little bit of a wait here at the turn. I was trying to see if, and if you haven't played, playoff best ball before, I would recommend looking at some kind of primer. There's so many good primer articles out there. I know from last year, I'm pulling up one that on Fantasy Life, but a lot of sites will cover that. We're probably going to put out some Substack articles, but it's more going to be probably like what we lean into, what particular strategies or teams will lean in heavier. But I will say with playoff best ball this year, Steve, there's so much more parity. Before it felt like, if you don't take the bye week team, you're screwed, and that's hard on Underdog because you have to make it past the wild card weekend. I don't know that I feel that way this year. Especially. Yeah. So it's interesting. This year it feels like the most parity, the most wide open the Super Bowl matchup is. So while we're waiting to come back around, here's a fun game. I talked to Sia about this on Twitter. What is the matchup you actually predict in the Super Bowl, which is very hard this year because I do feel like it's more wide open than ever. And what is the matchup you most want to see in the Super Bowl? You go first.
The matchup I actually predict.
Yes.
I will say
it's hard. It's really hard. You could poke holes in anything.
Yeah. I will say from the NFC, I will say the matchup I predict will be Seattle Buffalo.
Ooh, okay. I didn't know if I saw you going Buffalo. That's I like it. Okay. I don't know that I'm going to go
the most experience, and they
okay, so we are on the clock and then we'll get back to that. What's that?
They don't have the Chiefs in their way.
So are you fine? I really like Lawrence, JT, Bijan. That feels like a hot start. What do you think about that?
I would easily take Pickens, Lawrence above. I don't love JT this week.
Okay, we'll take Lawrence. He's going for the rushing title. Why don't you don't even know if Pickens is going to play the whole game.
Yeah, but JT might not play the whole game and it doesn't matter. They're not going to score points. It's like the best defense with everything to play for on the road, and Riley Leonard's your quarterback. They might not get near the red zone.
All right. Mike says, never seen a question break.
This is also, JT is better on DraftKings because he might be 2% owned. He's going to be 100%, every single draft is taking JT. So
yeah, no, that makes sense on the DraftKings. And that's why there are such nuances too.
And JT maybe could just rack up catches, dump off catches from Riley Leonard and get you 25 DraftKings points,
DraftKings, the context of DraftKings nuances versus Underdog draft nuances. No, and that's important to talk about. Mike says, never seen a question break Steve's brain like predicting the Super Bowl. So you go Bills versus who?
Seattle.
Okay. I'm going to go. Shit, this is hard. I don't know. I don't think Bill's defense is good enough.
But who is Denver's Houston has the best defense, but they don't have the offense. Yeah. Denver's offense is up and down. Their defense can be up and down. Patriots defense has been not good lately. The Bills just absolutely tore them up. And Jacksonville to me is just too inconsistent.
Yeah.
It's just Josh Allen is going to have such a major experience advantage of the rest of the quarterbacks in the AFC.
All right, I'm going to go just, something different here. I'm going to go of what I think it will be. I'm going to go. This is really hard. Actually, my think and want is going to be the same. I'm going to go 49ers versus Chargers. So it's out there in San Francisco and Santa Clara, and they get a home Super Bowl versus another California team. That's my prediction. My want is 49ers Patriots, but I don't think we get that. I think it's a year or two too early. Is that kind of how you feel for the Patriots?
Yeah, my want is 49ers. I do think a lot depends on what happens Saturday. The 49ers get home field advantage, and that was my thought. I don't think anyone's going into Seattle and beating them in the playoffs. I think it's going to be very hard for teams.
Yeah, no, that is a good point. I think a lot will be clearer after this weekend too. Okay, Jonathan Taylor fell all the way back. Can we please take him?
Yes, there you can take him.
Thank you. All right, look at that. Lawrence, Bijan, Taylor, Pickens. What Jags? Do we have any Jags receivers? I wasn't paying attention. We have Strains, Brian Thomas. Do you have any interest? Jacoby Myers.
I don't even care about that. I'd much rather take Juwan Johnson at tight end.
Okay. Do you want to do that now? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Like Lawrence is also a guy who, he runs one in, he runs two in.
Yeah.
Very live for that.
Spread it around too.
And spread it around. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I want to see actually is Steelers 49ers or Steelers Rams. Mike, I'm saying this for you. 2 old quarterbacks. People always dog the olds. 2 old quarterbacks. Steelers Rams. Let's go. Stafford versus Rodgers after all those NFC West battles. How fun is that?
Yeah, no, I'd love to see Stafford also. I think that'd be fun.
I'd love to see Rodgers. I'd love to see Stafford Rodgers. That's my one is Stafford Rodgers, but I do love the 49ers. You know me.
Make sure Rodgers makes it into the playoffs with the way that team is.
Yeah, I cannot believe they blew that Cleveland game. All right, Mike Robb says Ravens, Eagles, obviously Ravens fan. Who Hames, good to see you, Who Hames. Happy New Year. Chiefs, Lions. We can all want what we want. Yeah, I'm liking this start. We got to land this plane, Steve. We got to land this plane before we go off to the best ball street. So we've got quarterback, we got tight end, we got 2 running backs. We need a receiver. We don't need to stack it. So what do you want to do? I kind of like Diggs.
I don't mind Diggs.
We did Sutton in the last one.
I think Higgins.
You could do Burden.
I think Burden. I think any of those top 4 are better than Brian Thomas.
That's a good point. Don't need to force a stack. All right, I'm fine with any of these 4. You pick it. I mean, this team I love. So any of these 4, I'll be happy. Higgins projected for the highest. Diggs, they're playing for the playoff stuff, has the incentives. Sutton, we took in the last one, playing for the playoffs. Burden has kind of just emerged there. I just find that to be pretty interesting. 84, 7 and 9 targets last 2 games. Kind of lean Burden. I don't know, but where do you lean? Rank these 4.
If he didn't have that injury tag, I'd be all over Burden. But it's just like it's a hamstring, right?
He practiced fully though.
No, yeah, but it's like anything that happens or quad, whatever it is, it's like any little thing, and I worry he's first man out.
He goes anyways. So Diggs, Sutton, or Higgs?
Probably Diggs.
Okay, good. That was what I was hoping you'd say. All right. Jeff Cooley says Tampa Bay Ravens is either, I'm guessing this was Mike's want. Maybe this is Jeff's want. My want is, Rams, Steelers, or 49ers Patriots. I kind of like those. I don't know, just teams I like or old quarterbacks I'm still rooting on. Predicting it, I have no freaking clue. That's why playoff basketball this year is going to be very, 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 very.
This year, it's very wild.
I love it. This has been one of my favorite NFL seasons. You can tell that I've taken off the laundry girl aspect. Okay, so we're going to take Diggs. So we end with Trevor Lawrence, not stacked, totally fine. Bijan Robinson, Jonathan Taylor, George Pickens, Steph Diggs, Juwan Johnson, Steve, send us 30,000 or whatever the top prize is. I freaking love that team. I will not forget this if it takes it home, that we'll split it.
Okay, can't wait.
You don't sound like you believe me. Okay, Who Ames is out on the Bills and Packers. I'm definitely out on the Packers without Parsons. And they've been pretty banged up 10 this season.
My argument for Bills defense isn't the greatest, but there's a lot of teams whose defense isn't good right now. Bills are going to have, an elite quarterback with experience, which, like May doesn't have that a lot. And, some of the other ones.
May just has ice in his veins. He's perfect.
But then they also have, the best running back in the playoffs, him or Henry, and it's like James Cook, we've seen him take over multiple games. So you have two guys who can go Superman on that team, where there's a lot of teams like if Denver needs to get points, how are they getting them? If Houston needs to get points, it's how are they getting them? That's my deal with those types of teams. Same with the Jags.
Kicks goes 49ers, Jags. That would be interesting. The way the Jags are finishing, I don't blame that call. Paul says it's going to be New England Rams. I went to a couple of Super Bowls in Vegas, to watch the Super Bowl in Vegas, and that was the first one. It was the biggest snooze fest. What was it? Was it Brady's last year? Not his last year. It was his last Super Bowl with the Patriots, right? Mm-hmm. Oh my God. What was it, 9-6 or 10-6?
I can't remember.
Oh my God, that game was boring. But Paul says Patriots, Rams, and the QB that wins the regular season will lose the Super Bowl MVP. I like the predictions in here. The predictions in here, folks. Who says Bills lost to the Chiefs most of the time because they stop running when it's working. They have the same coaching. I just assume they screwed up again. I do sometimes doubt the coaching, and I have a lot of Bills friends, and I don't know. I don't know if McDermott's ever going to get over the hump. All right, guys, who wants to join us for some playoff basketball? We're going to rip a couple mittens. We'll spend some more time on it next week. This is just a warm up for Steve and I, because next week we'll do a sibling showdown. We'll do drafters playoff basketball. We'll do underdog playoff basketball. But today we're just going to do a couple mittens. Next week it'll be nice because we will know the exact seeding. I know already I've messed up some seeding stuff. So yeah, basketball Q is right. Everybody is doubting the defending champs. That is fair. So let me get this off here. So heading to the playoff basketball streets. I'm just going to do mitten since we're just warming up. We're just dipping our toes. I've done a handful of mittens. I did the 3 summits. I've done just one battle royale. I want to do most of my playoff basketball next week. So mitten 2. If you'd like to join us, we'll talk through some of our strategies as we go. We'll put out an article next week. Again, I highly recommend any primers if you haven't, but probably if you're watching us, you have played playoff basketball. So we'll skip past that. Watch, any other primer content. And then next week, again, we will dive into it on Substack on a show here where we dive further into our strategy, but we're just kind of warming up here. So, all right. So I'm going to enter the mitten 2. I'll count it down if you'd like to join us. I'm going to enter in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Enter. And again, the mitten is 2 out of 6, 1 out of 10, 1 out of 10 to get to the Super Bowl. Again, the short summary is you got to make sure that you can fill a roster wild card weekend, every weekend, and Super Bowl weekend. And so it is starting shortly here. Let's see here. Mike is in the 3 spot. Great that you're able to join us, Mike. We are in the 5. Legion is in the 6. So we got Mike and Legion. I'm glad you guys were able to join us in here. I do love having the early spots. Me, I'm a McCaffrey girl. You're not going to see him fall this far. Tom Brady's first Super Bowl win was against the St. Louis Rams. May's first will be against the LA Rams. Oh, I like Paul putting out the bets. Look at that. I like it. What do you think, Steve? He doesn't have the experience yet, but he likely is going to be the MVP. And that damn Adam Peters. I'm so pissed off we don't have May, but he looks awesome. I could see it.
After the Bills, I probably like the Patriots next, just because I do think I think they're going to have their, even if Lamar makes the playoffs, it's not Lamar. He's not 100%.
Yeah.
So those are the best two quarterbacks in the AFC, and Herbert's not 100%.
And Herbert.
So,
yeah.
But he's not 100%. So it's
Right.
like, I feel like Allen and May just have a huge advantage, particularly in the non-Chiefs year.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's fair. All right. So as expected, goes Puka McCaffrey. And of course, right now we'll have this information next week. We don't know if McCaffrey is going to have a bye or not. We are playing under the assumption that Broncos will have the bye on the AFC side. Don't know if it's going to be Seattle or 49ers yet. So if you're building right now with 49ers in there, you need to build that to protect in case they do get the bye. All right. Do you want to lean into your narrative there, Steve, and go Josh Allen?
Yeah. Let's do it. I was hoping for James Cook, but I like Allen.
Okay, so James Cook goes one ahead of us. I haven't done many Allen teams yet, so let's play it this way. So we're going to play it that Josh Allen is playing every week. He plays wild card week, that he is taking the Bills to the Super Bowl. Are you then, in these situations, are you drafting any other quarterbacks? Are you just doing Allen and then like 3 or 4 running backs and 5 receivers or something along those lines? And
Probably
Legion's
not.
doing what he said. He's doing what he said. I love to see it. You tell the story of what's going to happen. So, you could I like to then queue up Bills pieces, which aren't here, or NFC pieces. Do you want to take JSN? He has the bye, or Devontae here. Either way, you're taking an NFC piece, which I like.
Let's take JSN.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get another receiver position. If he gets the bye, we could still protect ourselves. So what I like to do when I know it's like a situation like this, like they don't have a bye, you're going to build out that side. I like to just queue up some guys, and there's not many that are going to have value. Like you could,
take Brandon Cooks above Josh Palmer, 1,000%.
Right, Brandon. You think Brandon Cooks will get more work in the playoffs than Josh Palmer?
I mean, he has been the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, that's the thing I hate about the Bills is you don't freaking know. But okay, all right. But since we couldn't get Cook, I do like to have like the running back position, so that way you could just then rotate through a couple NFC teams on the other side. Yeah. But we're coming up here. I mean, Shakir could maybe get our next pick. Top of the board, would prefer NFC teams. So I like Kittle here if he were to be there, because then you're covering, 2 of the favorites I like in the NFC, both 49ers and Seattle. And then one of them is definitely going to play wild card weekend too. I do like that as well. Then you have Devonta Smith, another NFC East piece, but Kittle would be my first choice. Thoughts?
Yeah, no, I'm good with Kittle.
Damn it. It goes running before us. Do you want to do Devonta Smith? Is there anything else?
Do Devonta Smith. I think that's better
or
play.
You could do Ken Walker if you wanted to go NFC running back, but then we have 2 Seattle pieces.
Yeah, I'm only taking 2 Seattle with now out knowing the bye situation.
Okay, we go Devonta Smith. So, we're kind of going to try to stack up the Bills and then have some bringbacks on the NFC side of potential Super Bowl matchups. And of course, ideally not taking too much that could potentially play. So that's why we didn't take Walker. Legion takes Walker, Jacobs. You want to take Shakir here to get our second Bills piece, Steve?
Yeah, but we need to have some Bills pieces, and good with that.
So again, when it's all said and done, you won't need to make sure you have, and again, starting positions, if you're new to this, is quarterback, 1 running back, 2 wide receiver / tight end, and 1 flex. So you need to make sure you have those 5 positions every single week. So wild card week, obviously the divisional and conference week, and then Super Bowl. So the story you have to tell is, okay, maybe 3 or 4 Bills, and then I rotate through a couple NFC pieces that if it is Bills, Rams, Bills, Seahawks, Bills, 49, whatever, you're telling that story. Then just need to see if the story breaks right. And of course, the tough thing with this, it's nicer in the mitten where it's 2 out of 6. On the 1 out of 5, 1 out of 6, you're going to need like those outlier scores week 1. If Diggs goes off for 2 touchdowns, or if, JSN plays wild card week and goes off for 2 touchdowns, that's who you're going to need to push through. So, that's hard to predict. And that's why doing volume helps. So at top of the board here, I would say Jennings, Goddard if you wanted to lead into a second. Oop, didn't mean to do Purdy. Jennings goes. That's why it accidentally
we
clicked.
go Swift. We need to catch our running back.
For sure. I like Swift a lot here. Get another NFC piece there. So we start Allen 1-1-3 with Allen, Swift, JSN, Devonta Smith, Khalil Shakir. We have 2 bills so far. Up in 2, nowhere near these other bills. So what do you want to do here? You got AFC pieces. Christian Ricky Pearsall. You could just scroll down for.
I don't think we need he might be there the next go around.
Or you want to do Goddard? Goddard just went. All of these are AFC pieces. I mean, you can take them as advancement piece, but there's not one I love.
Yeah. Let's. I actually think we should do that. Take an advancement piece here.
Like Hampton.
Yeah, Hampton or Stevenson.
Your choice.
Let's go Hampton.
Okay. So he's just kind of an advancement piece here. Let's see. So let me go back to the board. So we have that was our 6th pick. So we have 4 more to go. So ideally, in my perfect world, I'd get 2 more bills and 2 more NFC players. It doesn't have to be all from different teams if you have 4 bills, but you could do another Eagle, another Seahawk, another Bears player, or something like that. If Pearsall's still here, I'd like to take Pearsall because I really do like the 49ers from that perspective. And then one of JSN or Pearsall is going to play next week. I like that, playing it that way. Okay, we get it. So we got that. So we're up at 44 and just want to see, I mean, we probably could take Bills with the last 2 picks if you just want to get another strong NFC piece here. NFC pieces, you have Charbonnet if you want a 3rd running back, but we could also have a 3rd running back from the Bills. That wouldn't be great. Other NFC East pieces are, let's see, Charbonnet, DJ Moore, Jaden Reed. What are your thoughts? Just in case I don't want to take Ty Johnson.
Yeah, let's take Charbonnet or Moore. I'm fine either way.
Let's take Charbonnet.
Yeah.
Okay. So we start 1, 3, 4. And last 2 picks are going to be Bills because they're all down there. I mean, just to kind of fill out roster. Moore goes. There's really not Parkinson. There's really not Jaden Reed. There's really not.
I mean, those, Parkinson with Higbee being back.
What about Rome? What about Rome and Swift? I kind of like that because Rome should be healthy for the playoffs.
Didn't you want the last 2 picks to be Bills?
Don't we have 3 more? Oh no, we have 2. My bad. Whoops. Yeah. Sorry, my bad. All right. If you could choose any 2 bills, would it be like Ty Johnson and Brandon Cooks then?
Yeah.
Oof. Bills are ugly.
Yeah, but I mean, unfortunately, there are a lot of these teams who you're making these kind of decisions on, particularly the ones who are more favorite. Patriots is the same sort of thing. Rams. Ooh, Brandon Cooks.
Ty Johnson gets a lot of passing work. Take out Ray Davis. Oh, we're down to Josh Palmer.
We could take Dawson Knox.
Yeah.
I'd take Knox over Palmer at this point.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that makes sense.
And this is mainly if we can get this, if the Bills go to the Super Bowl, then you can fill out a full roster. We're not expecting Ty Johnson and Knox to do anything for us up until Super Bowl week, essentially.
Exactly. Not at all. Who Hames agrees. Cooks is his favorite Bills in these. Yeah. And who Hames?
I really thought we were going to get Cooks.
What's that?
I really thought we were going to get Brandon Cooks.
Yeah. Okay, we're back on the clock with our last pick. So Dawson Knox it is. So we end with 1-4-5. We fill out the Bills roster with 4, and then we have 1 potential run back with different NFC East teams. So we go Josh Allen, Ty Johnson, Shakir, Knox. Those are your 4 Bills. And then coming back, you have, let's see, I think we got 1 from 4 different teams. So you've got 1 Bear in Swift. We we have a fill-in for a Hampton, just kind of an advanced rate piece. We got Charbonnet and JSN, 2 Seahawks, 1 Eagle in Devonta Smith, and 1 49ers. So 4 different teams, 49ers, Eagles, Seahawks, Bears. If it's Bills and one of those 4 teams, we are covered in the Super Bowl. Hampton, we drafted as kind of an advanced rate piece. So I'm happy with it overall. Any thoughts on that team?
Yeah. And this is, just a perfect example, like one advantage of taking a Josh Allen and not having to worry, next week you can even make this case. Let's say 49ers don't get the bye. You could just draft a Purdy team. You could draft 1 quarterback. You can still draft 2 quarterbacks, and I will do that in some builds.
Yeah.
But particularly when you have an elite option like Allen, and we don't even have to play for the bye, because what if, like, you could say the same thing about May, but what if somehow the Patriots get the 1 seed and then you have this perfect May team that's just dead? So that's the advantage of
I drafted my one and only gauntlet. I have like a ton of Patriots 49ers, and I'm like, holy shit, there is an outside chance that I could be totally dead. Let's look at the other 2 in our draft. Our guys, we got Mike at the 3 spot, 2-3-5, and he's leaning into his Eagles Ravens. He got Hurts, Lamar, Barkley, ETN, Big Dog Derrick Henry, AJ Brown, Brian Thomas, Christian Watson, Zay Flowers, and Jaden Higgins. So he's got so from the Eagles, he's got 1, 2, 3, and from the Ravens, he has 1, 2, 3. So mainly building out that stack, but he has some other options of AFC options with the Eagles. Yeah, if especially Jacksonville, he's got 2 Jacksonville and 2 Jacksonville especially. So if it's Eagles Ravens or Eagles Jags, really set up there, and then got some advanced rate pieces there with like a Watson and Jaden Higgins too. So like that, Mike. Let's take a look at Legion's team 2-3-5. So he telling his story. He said Patriots go to the Super Bowl. Drake May, in case they get the bye. Jordan Love, Travion Henderson, Kenneth Walker, Josh Jacobs, Steph Diggs, Dallas Goedert, Hunter Henry, Colson Loveland, Terrence Ferguson, done the exact same way we did, but in my opinion, better players, because he's got Drake May, Travion Henderson, Steph Diggs, and Hunter Henry. So he's got 4 Patriots, then bringing it back with, it could be Patriots Packers with Love and Jacobs. It could be Patriots Rams with Terrence Ferguson, Patriots Bears, or Patriots Eagles. So love that. Got another little advanced rate piece, or Patriots Seahawks, excuse me. So
and Packers, like
I said that from the back. So it could be Packers, Seahawks, Eagles, Bears, Rams. So it really covered there like that a lot. So that was fun. Who wants to double down? Do one more before we get out of, we're over 2 hours of Degen Power Hours. Let's do one more mitten if anybody wants to. Let me catch up with chat. Yeah, Legion says, fun fact, Brandon Cooks could break an NFL record by appearing in a 3rd Super Bowl with 3 different teams. We got Sharp for our Super Bowl running back. Let's see. DC from this draft has to be lurking and watching. Who's DC?
He was in this draft, and he was in.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, DC, come over, hit that like button. We appreciate it. Legion loves himself some tight ends. Take that as you will. That's too funny. All right. One more mitten before we get out of here on this fine Friday. And then again, mark your calendars for 9:30 p.m. Eastern, Degen Dad's doubleheader. They're going to cover you on week 18 bets. They're going to cover you on more week 18 underdog drafts. So mitten 2, I'm counting down from 10. If you want to join us again, to Mike, Legion, or anybody else, I'm starting 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, enter. And 3 more to start. So if you want to join us, there is room. Let me pull this up. I'm freezing for some reason. Okay, starting shortly. I see the money in here. I see Legion in here. DC's in here. We're running it back. We got Hooings. Let's go. All 4 of us having some fun in the mitten. Remember, it's 2 out of 6 in this one, and then a 1 out of 10, 1 out of 10 to make it to the Super Bowl. We will do a sibling showdown next week on both Drafters and Underdog. Have some fun with some playoff best ball. Yeah, I have to say I'm bummed out that I wanted to do a 49ers team. I just love my Christian McCaffrey, Steve. I just love it. I'm pissed off I didn't get paid off for having that good stand this year. But that's how best ball works. Did not get paid off on my Christian McCaffrey stand. Where are the horns, Who Hames? That's right. I gotta ping gotta ping Brett. No, it takes a while, right? I think, doesn't it?
Yeah, they're coming.
They're coming. Yep. It was the Christmas extra 0.2. Steve helped sweat it out with me. It was very exciting. It was my first win on Underdog. Obviously, goat horns on either best ball or dailies or playoff best ball. And I was super excited. And I want to do more small slate stuff. And I want to do more, smaller field stuff. So, okay. So Legion goes Puka. DC goes McCaffrey. I'd like to do something different this time. So if we're not taking Josh Allen, what do you want to do?
I was going to say Saquon, but we could take James Cook.
You want to go Cook, and we could play it from a different angle. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. All right. Who do we want to say? I mean, we could do May, potentially, if Who Hames doesn't. Oh, shit. No, we just took a AFC. Yeah. Never mind. I mean, we could, but we don't have to. We could also do what number will we be back up at? 8 and 17. I was going to say you could take Devontae and hope Stafford falls back, but that's probably not going to happen. One thing I will say, Purdy goes pretty damn late in this. Yeah. You could also do Kittle, reach for him, what do you think? I'd say Devontae or Kittle. Those are my two.
Let's do Devontae.
Problem is, we're probably not going to get Stafford.
That's fine. I mean, if
we kind of need a quarterback,
I know. I think we'll get one. In fact, I think we'll probably get two.
Well, no, in this situation, we may need two. So my preference would be, obviously, if Stafford falls back, great. If not, if Kittle fell, nope, he goes. I'm obsessed with the 49ers. We should have taken Kittle. Okay, so
back up Purdy.
What's that?
Jennings and Pierce will go later. You can still take Purdy. Yeah.
What number Purdy goes? I don't think he'd come back. Wait, so we were up at 17 and 20. So yeah, we could take him with 17 and take. So I mean, again, if you wanted, we could just build that way and just. Cooks is James Cook is just part of our run back. So then we would be taking different AFC. You could take Diggs, you could take Sutton, you could take Myers. If we did get Purdy at 20,
Yeah. Let's see what Mike does here, and then we'll decide.
Who did Who Hames take? He took May, right? Yeah. Okay, he goes Myers, which we did have queued up. Who Hames has a quarterback, so I'm hoping he doesn't take Purdy, but do you want to take Diggs? Or Sutton? Sutton's likely going to have the bye.
Yeah, let's do Diggs.
Yeah. Okay, then we have an AFC run back if we do get of Buffalo and Patriots that I like. And then if we do, hopefully we get Purdy here, and then we could stack that out. I'll wait. I don't want to jinx it. We got our guy Eddie in here. Yo, Fanspeak family. Good to see you, Eddie. Hopefully you had a wonderful holidays and New Year's. Yes, we did push Purdy around the corner successfully. And now let me start queuing up 49ers. So Jennings, Pearsall. I don't know that Jennings is going to fall back to us. That's the problem. Then it gets a little thin. But, whatever. Let's queue it up. This might have to be one where we do 3 49ers and 2 Buffalo, 2 Patriots or something. You know what I'm saying? because it's so.
And we do need a second quarterback with not knowing if Purdy.
Oh yeah. I mean, that might just be an advance rate piece too, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just queuing.
For Cooks, not Ty Johnson.
What?
We'd need a receiver.
Oh yeah, my bad. Okay, I put Kincaid in there. All right, yeah, Jennings did go. Not surprised there. Legion went Harvey Quorum. Mike's on the clock. Okay, I'm taking Pearsall. Okay. Who Hames is on the clock. Then what did you want to do at 32, Steve? Because obviously these are much later unless you want to go Ramondre. And then you don't even have to take like a Brian Robinson because you're saying I'm playing one of these two AFC teams, right? You know, that I kind of like that. You want to take Ramondre here?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Then it's two good two good running back options for wild card weekend. Mm-hmm. And then we could go like Purdy, 2 receivers, even if it is like Kendrick Bourne or something like that. And then we could have we have Diggs, Ramondre, and we could do Cook, somebody else. Let me see. Obviously Kincaid went. We could do Cook, Cooks or Cook Knox or something like that.
Yeah.
Let me look at the board really quick.
We also need to figure out a second quarterback. Yeah. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 more picks. So we're going to do one more 49er, one more Bills player, one quarterback, and then maybe somebody attached to that quarterback. So that's fair. Okay. So Legion goes Puka, Stafford, obviously stacked up. Nico, Harvey, Quorum, Marks, Lawrence. So he's stacking the Rams and got a second quarterback with Lawrence there. Okay, we're back on the clock. My bad. What's quarterback like right now?
What about same
payload?
You don't care that's on the same side that they could potentially.
Yeah, we can wait. Let's.
Shit. What do you want to
do? Let's do
Lad. Huh?
Lad's fine. Yeah.
Because if we're taking the other side, you could do like Lad, Herbert potentially here.
Yeah, true.
And then it just builds up. God damn it. I'll get it from my phone.
Oh boy. It's got dangerous.
Oh boy is right. I don't know what the hell I just did, but I got it. Okay.
We're taking Brian Robinson.
Now we don't have to take Brian Robinson. So here's the deal. We do Brock Purdy, one more, God, do we have any other 49ers? They're all gone. That's the problem with this situation. I mean, we're going to take freaking like DeMarcus Robinson or something. Oh no, Kendrick Bourne is still there. Okay. So we have 2 more picks, right? Yeah, with 2 more picks we're going to take. We got our second quarterback in case 49ers get the bye. We have them stacked. So we have another AFC team too. So essentially we have, that wouldn't fill out the Super Bowl. We'd be missing one person in the Super Bowl but we have essentially could be 49ers, Bills, 49ers, Patriots, 49ers, Chargers, but you'd be missing one skill position. Did I say that right?
If we get one more Bill.
If we get one more Bill, so we'll take one 49er, one Bill, and it would accomplish those tasks. And we'll go through everybody's team to wrap it up and call it a night. And again, tune back in 9:30 in just 5 hours for Degen Dads. Or you want to go Warren?
No, take Brandon Cooks.
Okay. Brandon Cooks. Okay. And then we can get rid of Knox. And there you go.
Yep.
Ston just is projected for nothing.
Well, if Who Hames took Brandon Cooks, we wouldn't have a Bill. We'd have to take shoulders.
Okay, Bourne or Robinson? Bourne.
Take Bourne.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. All right, I'm happy with this. So again, if it was so this just shows you we got a second quarterback just in case it is the 49ers that get the bye in the 1 seed. Mm-hmm. If that is the case. We're covered at quarterback, and we have him stacked with McConkey. The problem is we don't actually have 3 full teams, because if it is to be 49ers, Chargers, we have both quarterbacks, but we wouldn't have a running back is the problem. But we'd have, 2 receivers and a flex there. So we are covered for 49ers, Bills, because we have 1, 2, 3 49ers with Brock Purdy, Pearsall, and Bourne. And then we're covered with Bills running back James Cook, and then a flex position of Brandon Cooks. If it's 49ers Patriots, we're covered with running back Ramondre Stevenson and Stephon Diggs. If it is the Chargers, we have 2 quarterback options and receiver flex. We just wouldn't have the running back position. But I think that's kind of fun. I do feel like I love like the Purdy and the Herbert stack. Honestly, I'm just a little worried that we, I would have almost liked a third running back, but we really just didn't have that option. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean that.
You're going to need a ceiling outcome from one or both of Ramondre. At least
the good
one.
news is, and assuming New England's in the two seed, the worst case would be New England in the 1 seed. And we only have 1 running back. But ideally, if Bills and Patriots win, they're not playing each other week 1. Like there's no way the Bills lose enough to face the 2 seed. It's going to be Ravens or Steelers, or I'm sorry, it's going to be right. It's going to be Chargers.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm bummed out. I love the Chargers and Patriots, and I think they're going to play each other week 1.
Yeah,
that sucks. All right, let's read it one more time. 2-2-6 in this one. Purdy, Herbert, Cook, Ramondre, Devontae Adams. He was kind of just an advanced rate piece. Steph Diggs. In hindsight, I would maybe rather that be another running back, but oh well. Devontae Adams, Steph Diggs, Ricky Pearsall, Lad McConkey, Brandon Cooks, Kendrick Bourne. This is kind of just like Super Bowl hopefuls. So sometimes you're just building for advanced rate piece. Sometimes you're just building for Super Bowl hopefuls. Again, you just need all weeks covered. Let's take a look at everybody else. Legion goes 2-3-5. Stafford, Lawrence, Harvey, Corum, Woody Marks, Puka, Nico, Brian Thomas, Parker Washington, Xavier Smith, who, boy, he got more targets than I thought the other night. Mm-hmm. So he's building out a Rams Super Bowl with potentially, because does he have 4 Rams? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. With potentially Jaguars, a couple options, Houston, a couple options, or Denver. So I like that. Again, covered for wild card weekend, covered for Super Bowl, covered for everything in between, hopefully. So like that a lot, Legion. We got Mike with 2-3-5. So he did the Allen stack. Also Jordan Love, Etienne, Jacobs, Charbonnet, AJ Brown, Jacoby Myers, Dalton Kincaid, Christian Watson, Jaden Reed. So he's playing a Packers Super Bowl. Can be Packers Bills, can be Packers Jaguars. Yeah. So yeah, but again, covered week 1, covered for Super Bowl. Like that. And then finally, Huhames, 2-3-5. So similar to we had 2 running backs. Sorry. May, Darnold. And obviously with Darnold could have the bye wild card weekend. So just hope that both don't get it. But that's a very long shot that the Patriots do. So I like that. Kenneth Walker, Travion Henderson, Swift, JSN, Hunter Henry, Burden, Butte, Barner. So really stacked up both teams. But still, if Seattle gets the bye, is still covered for the wild card weekend with May, Travion, Swift, Henry, Burden, Butte. So he's definitely protected looking at a Patriots Seattle Super Bowl, but could also be Patriots Bears. So I like that. Everybody did it the exact right way. Any final thoughts, Steve, before I get to chat? Well, let me go to chat. We were able to push pretty around the corner now, and I like that a lot. Eddie got after it on his birthday, but hopefully you had a wonderful birthday and wonderful New Year's. Mike Robb says, amazing show. Great to have these long streams. It's much appreciated. We appreciate you guys for joining us during these streams, for liking, for chatting, for being subscribed, and of course for chatting with us in Discord too. We appreciate all you guys. Paul says, can't wait for the January strategy show is my favorite time of best ball season. I would agree. I mean, I think it's important to look back before you look ahead. So I'm really looking forward to those too. Would you agree, Steve? And Mike, a big thank you to the super chat. You're the GOAT. We appreciate you. We appreciate all your support in all the ways, all of you in here in chat. Thank you so much. So no, I'm really looking forward to those strategy shows too. Cause we love all forms of DGen. We love DFS. We love the Underdog dailies. We love NFL bets, but we absolutely love best ball, and that best ball lets NFL be a year-round discussion for us, and that is absolutely amazing. I can't wait to get back in the streets, but I can't wait to look back before we look ahead first. Any other thoughts on that, Steve?
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
Okay. Any other final thoughts for the people?
No, good luck. Last regular season week, of course. Keep an eye on news. It's going to be so important this week more than any week. For whatever you're doing, props, DFS, dailies, etc. And then, we'll be ripping away best ball playoff drafts and playoff dailies and DFS and props then as well. Yeah,
absolutely. We are going to finish the Fanspeak DGens are all going to finish the season strong. Let's start this weekend in week 18. Look for everything tonight for tomorrow and Saturday for Sunday. And let's all kick ass together. For Steve, I'm Meg. Be sure to check out DGen Dads later tonight at 9:30. And we will see you next time. Have a great week 18.
Fanspeak, where the plan runs deep. The team grind hard, don't eat, don't sleep. From best ball dreams to DFS streaks, they help you print money every single week. Fanspeak. No cap, no gimmicks, we breaking limits. NFL bets, we live this business. Meg and Steve, that OG vision. Draft room killers on a lifelong mission. More stress to the Sunday spread. Fanspeak's that voice that's inside your head. Best ball, DFS, NFL bets. They built it brick by brick, no regrets. Fanspeak team, printing money since day one. Fanspeak, forever.